Oh, goodness, I'm tired. Hey, Necros. What's up, Epic? Thought you already reworked Moira. No, not yet. We did Mercy. We did some tweaks to Ana and Zen, but not yet. Cheers, mate. Have a good time at the jam. Not the jam, but the jam. I need to actually set up a command here, actually. Commands add mastery. Coaching service with free. I know. What's up, Ink? What is up, my dudes? Just ping the Discord, yeah? Good. For today. I don't know if I'm running out, guys. I'm running out. Will Al play it all in Sorry Patch? I think so. I think playoffs, yeah. I think playoffs. Is it? It's me, Rob. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. You got your initial Twitch account, yeah? Kondak, hey? Skitza, what's up? See everybody. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm so tired. I freaking night before last, I was like, I've been having some issues with like restless legs and stuff, which I've been getting some help with. long story short, basically, some nights are really bad. And like night before last, I got literally like 3 hours of sleep. It was bad. I was up at like 2:30 in the morning. And long story short, yesterday I caught up on some of it. Yeah. But I'm still like so gassed right now. And I had to do like, I did like 4 hours of coaching today, which to be honest was really fine. Like coaching was really good today. But I'm just like, and now I have to do like this coaching call and the Rework Moira discussion, which are all things I really like doing, but all require a lot of energy. So I'm like, I'm gonna be like, you know, going wild. Finally did a name change. Nice. So y'all haters will be praying on my downfall today. But I will survive. Do a backflip. Dude, it's so unfortunate that you say that because I just plugged in my headphones. Otherwise, I totally would. Have I tried drugs to give yourself more energy, like weed? Get some coffee? I can't though. I need to sleep tonight though. If I did coffee now, it's like 4:15. It's too late for coffee. All right, let's start the coaching calls. All right, we're starting the call in the Elo Mastery Discord. The way this works is it's kind of like you can join, you can ask questions. But I think what I'm gonna do is we'll do a balance of like gameplay review and questions. Kitty, thanks for the sub, mate. I appreciate it. We'll do a mixture of like questions and maybe some gameplay review stuff. These are for like the free option right now, but they're gonna move to the premium, which is pretty cheap actually. Premium also has like a lot of content and stuff as well. So yeah, let's do this. So jump in the call, y'all. Jump in the call. Hello, everybody. I'm saying hello, everybody, expecting like a response, but I'm so stupid that I'm like, oh, they can't actually respond. I don't know why I was expecting anything else. Wait, coaching call chat. Wait, you guys can respond. Is music going wild? What music is going wild? Is the music playing? I wish to goodness there was. What if you had it like so when I entered the call, there was like an actual theme song playing? Can I do that? Can I have like a music bot? I could just like sing something through the thing. That would be so much better. Wait, okay, I'm gonna open this there. Spirit request to speak. All right, Spirit. We're gonna give it like just a second, and we're gonna get Rick rolling. And I'm gonna let my Twitch chat know. Soundboard, yeah. I'm gonna let my Twitch chat know that. No, Spirit, you can request to speak. Just for memory's sake, you did it first. But yeah. How the frick do I actually get this thing coaching call chat? Like, how do I do both? Spylo Fortnite battle music. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Let's start the let's do the gameplay. Let's do a couple of codes first. So where is it? There it is. Okay, coaching call chat. Clups. Skitza drops one first. Genji, King's Row, Plat 1. Let's get this sucker started. So let's look at a few team fights here. I think let's try and find a balance because last time I did this, I got way too down with the sickness, and I think I looked at like 7 fights in a row, which is really, really not wise considering everyone needs their turn. So Skitza, are you here? Skitza, do you want to jump in or do you just want to watch? Do you want to ask questions? Do you want to review it together? How do you want to do this? Drop your answer in coaching call chat. You want to jump in? All right. Freaking get in here. Invite to speak. I'm inviting you to speak. What's up?
Hello. Just a heads up, there are some dark clouds outside, so if anything happens, my internet just went down.
Okay, that's fine. So if I hear you being struck by lightning, call the cops kind of a thing?
Oh, no.
Okay. Really, it's going to be fine. Okay, actually, let me actually adjust the stream. I'm going to shut down stop the stream and then restart it because I think, I don't know if I can handle like this much. Okay, this should be a little bit. Okay. Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
All right. Did you have any particular like section of the VOD that you want to look at?
I think I want to see when we attack, when red team attacks.
Right.
I think that's the one I'm most interested in.
When you attack or when red team attacks? Because red team is attacking right now.
Oh wait. Oh fuck. All right. I thought we weren't red team. When I attack.
All right.
I don't really remember it. What happens on that? I just have some vague memories of some things that I think might be interesting to
Okay.
review.
Okay, sounds good. Did you have any questions specifically about like the whole situation, the whole setup, or anything, or just want to kind of see the mistakes that you did?
Yeah, I find myself on this game in particular trying to go for backline a lot of the times,
Yeah.
but most of the times I either find my team dead, which might be just timing issue,
Yeah.
or I just can't get any value at all. Like I force some cooldowns, but that's it.
Well, I think here's the thing: is this like whenever you're playing a team game, you can be taking actions that like are logical and productive, but maybe not always getting the actual like full return on investment. So you need to try and understand the game at an objective level, and then do your best to ask yourself, was this objectively good? Like right now, for example, do you like this angle? Do you think that you're getting value? Do you think that you're putting out pressure from this angle?
Unsure. Well, if I remember correctly from this moment now, I don't think I do much. I just try to spam some people, but it doesn't really do anything
Okay.
significant. I just like get them. Some HP goes down, but it goes back up right away. So I don't think this angle was particularly good in this match.
Okay. But better than standing on main, right? So congratulations. So then where would you
Alright.
go? Where's a better option?
The high ground on the back of them, then I have a more aggressive angle on the yeah. Usually when we where a widow stands on
Okay. What's the
defense,
only problem about this angle?
it is tree exposed.
Okay. Pretty exposed. What else? So look at your supports.
Yeah, if they are standing on a hotel, I guess they don't have the LOS on me, and Bap and Moira can't really reach me that easily. Bap
Correct.
can
Correct.
maybe hit some shots on me, but it's really difficult.
Really hard. So then find the best possible solution given the situation that you're in right now. What's the best possible
Yeah.
angle?
Um, I guess this one is probably the best considering what supports I have.
I think so too. I think it's okay. I think maybe picking from statue here would be also quite good. Like doing this number
All right.
here, that way you can access, the rat, you can access Ilyari. You maybe don't get a guaranteed kill on anything, but the pressure feels like a little bit more juicy. You know what I'm saying? You're getting more of a distraction, right?
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. You're hitting some shurikens, but it just doesn't feel amazing. Now, I will say
Yeah.
here, I think now that you're here, there really is no excuse for you not at least breaking pylon or throwing shurikens at Junkrat or throwing shurikens at Ilyari. This needs to be better, right? But that's the
Alright.
objective thing. Don't look at this and go, oh, my Hanzo died. I must have done something wrong. Maybe not. Maybe you played perfectly, right?
All right.
Okay. You're holding space here, like, I mean, look, this looks good to me, right? That's good. That's value.
Yeah, I mean, holding space. We just hold space. We don't get any. So that's the
Well,
big issue.
maybe you say that, but that's because somebody just freaking died. Like you're acting like I need positive reinforcement on every action that I take, but that's not always going to be the
Yeah.
case, right?
True,
Sometimes
true.
you have to have the patience and the maturity and the game knowledge to understand that what I'm doing is okay. It's not always working out, but 55, 60% of the time it's going to work out, especially because you are not mechanically masters, right?
No, not at all.
Right.
I play on a laptop, so I don't think I would get to
correct.
that level that easily.
Right. So you might be making good decisions, but you're not, because you're not like executing everybody from that position. It doesn't necessarily feel as good as like a grandmaster playing that angle.
I
Right.
see.
So try to be objective about it. When I asked you where should you be, what should you do, we kind of like talked through your thought processes. We decided that this isn't too bad, but you could be doing a little bit better. But that doesn't mean that you need to completely change everything. You suck. Relearn the game. No, you're just small adjustments. Small adjustments, right? Like right now, I don't like you shooting Zarya. I want you shooting Reaper, or I want you shooting the backline that's very close here. You got me? Small adjustment.
Yep.
Small adjustment. Yeah. See. You're just too slow.
I see.
You're just too slow.
Yep.
Just too slow. That's okay.
Right.
I like this positioning too. You're like, oh, creating space doesn't matter. We just don't get any space. I mean, maybe. Space is just loading your dice. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to roll a 6, but if you load your dice, it's still an objectively good move. Like right now, your positioning is garbage. Okay, thank you. And then where should be the end goal here? Where there's not one option, but there are options. What are some of those options?
Yeah, if I wasn't tunneling on that kill on Zarya, I would probably go around and try to go for backline while my team stays on point, putting pressure from the front.
Sure. Right here. You could also do it from the opposite side too, right? This is a tough meta for you right now. Like the Zarya stuff can be definitely ugly. Like that tank doesn't feel good to shoot.
Not really the Zarya. I might find more trouble on Torbjorns and Yari.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
Especially since I'm a Genji Tracer 2 trick, so
gotcha.
That's rough.
Yeah, for sure it's rough. What's the mistake here? If you spot the mistake here. Good angle.
All right.
Too slow.
Took
you too long to get here. Right?
Yep.
So then now look what happens to your queen, right? So again, you're like, oh, I should have done. No, it just took too long. And by the way, let's be very clear. From a positioning standpoint, you could play everything almost perfectly and still lose a game. Now, if you played it perfectly and had perfect mechanics or really good mechanics, you would win every game.
That's my issue. The mechanics are probably my biggest issue.
But the problem with that is that you can't really shift your mechanics. You can shift your positioning, right? It's good. It's good. You got a nice escape route here. Creating a nice distraction. You force pylon. Oh, she's so mad at you. This is a little bit ego-y. But yeah, you carry this fight. You carry this fight. All right, let's watch one more fight. Where do you want to go to? Gonna stay on this? Just keep going down the line, or what do you want to do?
Let's just keep going. All
right, because you're gonna get a 7K with the blade. Yeah.
Well, no, never mind. Actually, I wanna see a point where I feel I play like dog water. It was on attack 3rd point, I think so.
Okay. Okay, no, that's OT. Here?
No. Actually, it was. I think we cap overtime.
Yeah.
What happened? No. It's actually here. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Probably a little bit earlier when we first capped 2nd point because we struggle a lot to get card space. So that's where I feel like I play worse.
Okay. So it looks like it's gonna be around here. Oh man, maybe you guys had
way back.
Oh,
yeah,
whoa,
we kind of rode 2nd point, so
okay, wow,
3rd point was the one we struggled. Yeah, we struggled on 3rd point because we mismanaged our ult economy. So
objective, right? That's why coaches exist, because it's hard to know what's objective, but ultimately you should be practicing to know what's objective, studying the game, studying your own gameplay, and also experimenting, right?
Well, the experimenting part's the issue for me. I don't really have the time to do so. But studying, I try to study a lot.
Well, you say you don't really have the time to do so, but in all honesty, if you have an idea or if you're confused at something, like I'm not sure how to position or not sure what angle, then that should be an experimentation phase. Every game has the potential to be an experimentation phase, right?
Yeah, it's just that I have some issues regarding my hardware, and that makes everything a lot harder. So that's why I say that's an issue.
Got it. Okay. I think this is just a mechanical thing. You should have gotten the kill. You snuck up on him. You timed it well. You just missed. That's all. It happens.
I see.
Oh, this is tight. Look at that space. She's off. Now she's on the floor. Get a little bit of healing. Definitely needed to get healing, but your positioning is great.
Thank you.
Love it. Nice job sneaking up. You're playing like an assassin, right? And you always had an escape route. You always had that deflect. You always had the dash. You obviously had the wall climb. Love to see it. Okay.
I mean, with 500 hours in Genji, I should know something.
Surely. Come on.
Yeah, that's the one I messed up.
It's just, okay, here's the thing. Is the idea of this blade bad?
No.
It's just high risk. It's high risk, right? Like, because you are by yourself, correct? There is no nano, there is no tank, there's no DPS. It's just you by yourself. Yeah. I understand why you do this.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go for high risk play, you better execute it properly.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's it. Because you could have also just held the angle on point and bladed.
True.
Now, right? Now it's a lot easier.
They had Blizzard. Yeah.
Come on. You have a dash and a dash reset, right? You're fine. You're fine.
I guess.
That's a skill issue, right? So my point being is that you are being the tank here. You're creating space here, so you better execute perfectly. Otherwise. But to be honest with you, I think this is one of those times where you go like, I messed it up. Okay. That's it. I don't think there's anything crazy that we need to obsess over here. okay? I lied, we'll go one more fight. Addicted to the plat Genji, I can't help myself. Good, good. I like the rotation here. Nah, I was gonna say. See, this is where, okay. This is where, now that the fight is actually starting here, your Moira is a complete clown, respectfully. Diogenes, which is, I guess she's role-playing as the name. Because the idea here is that this fight has started. Where the frick are you? What is this?
Yeah.
You know? Because here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Your Moira's dead. It's over. It's over. She's dead.
I see.
She's dead. But you could at least maybe trade or like, because where should you be? Where should you be?
I would say on the high ground on my right.
Yeah. You're not an idiot. You know exactly where you should be. So be there. So for you, sometimes it's not that you don't know how to position. It's urgency. Urgency. Because the longer that you're in a bad angle, the less pressure that you do. Does that make sense?
I see. Makes sense. Makes sense.
So what are the takeaways here? What needs to be practiced? Nothing fancy, nothing super new, nothing that you probably didn't already know. But what needs to be practiced?
How fast I reposition myself to those pressure angles.
Sure. Take the angles, take a position, and don't gaslight yourself by going, oh, maybe this angle. Try to be as objective about it as you possibly can. If your team trolls, if you take a good angle but just miss a bunch of shots, that's okay. Think about the situation as best as you possibly can. Yeah. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. It's interesting that you bring that because I was in another coaching call with Faustus, and he said the same thing, that I was slow in taking my decisions and repositioning.
It might be you get faster by purposefully remembering to practice it, right? And not forgetting. And then making that decision over and over and over again so that then you don't even have to think about it. Because thinking is slow. Thinking is slow. You don't get faster at thinking by playing Genji more. What you do is you get faster at thinking about it so you don't have to think about it. You just act. You just take the position automatically, right?
All right.
If you have to think about positioning, you're always going to be slow with your positioning. But the more that you think about it, the less that you have to think about it. You get what I'm saying? So don't worry about it if you're slow. As long as you're thinking about it, you will always get faster. That's how it goes.
All right.
All right, mate. Cheers.
Yep, thank you.
How do I kick you out of here? Okay, there you go. Okay, he's gone. Well, there you go. Spirit requested to speak. Let's do a quick question really quick. We'll do some more gameplay. Hey, Spirit, what's up?
Yo, hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right, what do you got
for
me?
Coaching?
You said you requested to speak. Do you have a question, or do you have a code, or whatever?
Oh yeah, I posted a code in the coaching thing.
Okay,
that's right.
Well, yeah, that's all right. All right, chat. Yeah, so I kind of leapfrogged, so I apologize. Who is next? Okay, I leapfrogged, but Spirit requested to speak. To be fair, as soon as I started the call, so we're kind of bending the rules, but I think we'll be okay. All right, let's take a look here. Who are you?
I'm Oni.
Oni. Okay. All right. Did you have a particular couple of fights or a particular section that you want to look at?
To be fair, I want to point out the whole game I was being flamed.
There's a solution. Okay. Uninstall. Uninstall.
Yeah, I've tried.
You're playing Widowmaker. What rank is this?
This was I was GM2, GM3.
So don't play Widowmaker. Don't play Widowmaker. If you have a weak, if you have not weak mental, but like if you care about what people think about you, like a normal, healthy human being, don't play Widowmaker. I play Widowmaker in quick play, and people will flame me like the first fight. You kill 6, doesn't matter. People flame you. Just how it goes.
This was my first game after a 3-year break. I used to play
that's brutal. I'm so sorry.
Well, the game didn't even start, and people were just flaming me for no reason. I usually don't care about.
I told you, it's ridiculous. Yeah, just mute the channels, whatever. To be honest with you, it happens. Don't sweat it. You're playing just a high risk, high reward character, and it's just the nature of your character. So don't worry about it too much.
I think my problems in this game would be my positioning mainly and my aim. You can't fix my aim, that's for sure. But
no, I mean not without surgery.
Right,
so
true.
What section do you want to look at here?
This was a while ago. I think first fight.
Okay, let's do it. Love this bug. You see this? What is your gun doing? I don't know why it does this. This angle's pretty good. I think this is all right. There you go. I like this little grapple here. This is cute. Hanzo's going to be a problem. Nice execution there. So a lot about Widowmaker is like obviously being sneaky if there's a Widow duel or a Hanzo or something that can one-shot you. But a lot of it is, with all due respect to Awkward, who I think has a lot of good feedback, he made a tweet recently about like if you're holding a sightline, you're trolling. Maybe he wasn't talking about Widow in that example, but I think especially for Widow, that's actually bad advice. Like holding a sightline can be really, really valuable. Like right now, you could not hit a single headshot, but you'd still be putting out pressure. Why? What does this allow you to do right here?
I pressured the McCree on the high ground, which my D.Va called out.
Correct.
I was honestly waiting for him to make a mistake and peek.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure he did, and I headshotted him afterward. I'm not sure.
Awesome. But you make this spot hard to control, right?
True.
You make it hard for them to stop cart. So your job is to like find that sightline where you can control the most space, have the most opportunity to get picks, and do so as quickly as you possibly can. So I like your positioning right now. Looks good. You're making it very difficult.
When I found out they had a Widow, I think I went on the big bull on the left side.
Yep. Looks good.
I was just waiting for any...
Save the grapple, right? Because you never know. Like right now, it's not about you being dove. It's about I might need to reposition and take a better angle in a second. Like for example, right now, where could you grapple to potentially?
Probably like if the D.Va didn't use boosters or the McCree dropped, I could probably go on the left side on the high ground, maybe, or
even
on stairs.
Right. There's maybe that option is available, but it's not now. So.
By the time I didn't know what a Genji was.
Correct. Well, he came from spawn. Yeah. Okay, this is fine. Nicely done. Position. I would also be putting now. If you're playing Genji here, where do you attack you? What would you do if you were playing Genji? Where would you go?
If I was playing Genji, I would just take high ground and instantly dive me.
So where would your Venomine be?
Probably on me.
Yeah, on you. Could place it here, right here in this little door frame here. Place it here. Place it here. Place it at your feet. But right now, it'd be somewhere. Right?
I rarely use my Venomine for some reason.
That's a mistake. It's free scouting because guess what?
Oh, he won.
Oh, this guy is dead! No way, man. No way. Think about it, you know? And not just dead. It's even if you don't get the kill, it's information, right? You know where he is for sure now. For sure, you know where he is. Tragic. Because the thing with the Venomine is it does give away your positioning. But if it doesn't matter or you're early in a fight, you need to place it. It's free value while you're rotating, right?
Yep.
All right. Stop this.
Yeah,
You got to break that habit. Because also, listen very carefully. You ready? I'm actually going to shut up for once. Hear that? Clomp, grapple sound. That's it, right? You should have a massive advantage in this duel. Now you have a minor advantage in this duel.
And he actually kills me for that, to be fair. I think because I whiffed.
I mean, that's just that. Yeah, I mean,
I should have died there.
You should have died there. I mean, it's a mechanical misplay in the first shot, which is whatever. But yeah, again, another situation where I'm probably Venomining my feet. And to be honest with you, this angle is also kind of. I mean, it's all right because they have to touch cart, but it is a little close. So if they didn't have to worry about touching cart, this might be a situation where you wish that you saved your grapple, so you grapple back in the reposition sightline here. Not the end of the world though. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no, you did not. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Honestly, it was just try to ego the fucking Widow and kill her.
But where is the Widow?
Widow's coming back from spawn. I wanted to have an advantage, and pick her off early, but
you're not going to pick her off early if she's in spawn. So you talk about Infrasight is like, okay, I want to diff that Widow. I want to get an advantage on the Widow, or I want to push some staggers or whatever, right? Okay. Yeah. So given that metric for success, right? If that's what you want to do with it, all right, be my guest. When should you push it?
Probably even die, to be fair.
When should you push it? You
Yeah.
push it now. Given what you wanted to do with it, when would have been a good time? You tell me to pause.
Probably when I grappled high ground. Will be,
Like now? And yet, look at your infosight duration right now.
That's halfway, yeah.
Half, right?
Alright.
Even the greedy, I want to get an early pick, whatever, even based off of that metric, you're still doing it 7-8 seconds too early.
Yeah. And I still
Tough.
died, I think.
That's tough, you know? That's really, really tough. Okay? I don't mind the idea of what you do, but crying out loud. No comment. Wait. What is this? What is this? Get res. Something
Wait.
happens. I heard a dink. Yeah. To be honest, okay, so this is where I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This is a little bit of hubris with the Genji and the D.Va in the field. I just think you're a little too close. I know you died to Widowmaker headshot, so that's what we're going, oh, you should have hit the shot. But I think if you miss this shot, I think you're probably still dead.
Yeah.
I think this is where, in terms of positioning, once your infrasight expires, or maybe you just die here, what's the play? Think about it from a space perspective, controlling a sightline. Where do you need to be?
Probably just back at the right.
Okay. And then you're going to grapple out, okay, over here or over here. And then what? Now you got a Widow duel to worry about. So what's the play now?
Probably, honestly, just call out the Widow and pressure the Widow so my D.Va
Sure.
can dive her, maybe.
Sure. Maybe snipe. And this is where, like, once you've created distance and established a sightline, then you can start playing the Widow duel. Then, do I peek this here? Or do I peek this here? Or do I peek it here? You know? That becomes like the brain game behind the Widow duel all of a sudden. But right now, to be honest with you, the priority isn't even thinking about the Widow duel right now. The priority is like, this D.Va should just kill me. This Genji should just kill me. I'm way too close. So once you establish the sightline, once you establish some range, then think Widow. You got me?
Yeah, I just blindly grappled without knowing the Widow.
Right. Exactly. Please. Oh, perfect. Nice. Really nicely done. Almost as good as my aim. Good job.
Yeah.
As everybody in chat knows that my aim is lethal. Okay. Now, I know what you're going to do, and this is silly. Because here's a good question for you. Would, you know Ons, right? ENS?
Yeah.
Best Widowmaker in the history of Overwatch League. Would Ons make this play if he were right here?
To be fair, I can't really compare myself to a pro. A pro would probably
Just for the
hit
sake
every
of the
single
argument.
shot.
Just hit, for the sake of the argument.
Honestly, I don't think so. He'd probably grapple. No, not even grapple. Just move right to the bridge and
Who's the
play
advantage
safe
for this
from there.
duel?
He
Why?
already has sights on me.
He already has sights. Not only does he already have sights, but he's pre-scoped. And you're not even scoped. You see that?
Yeah.
So why? Like, this is not even a minor. This is see, the thing is if you have the ego to take a 50-50 duel, I'm in your corner. Go for it. Do it every time. Go for it. It's a 50-50 duel. Do it. This isn't a 50-50 duel. It's a 90-10 duel, right? You got to be smart. You got to be smart. You have to ego your mechanics when it's a 50-50 duel or anything like that. But this is not a 50-50 duel. And you're at a disadvantage here, a serious charge disadvantage here. So then, okay, let's actually find out what you needed to do here. Oops, I went the wrong way. Oh, wait, no, I didn't go the wrong way. What did you do? You know he has a scope, he has a charge advantage. So what do you do?
Not peek and just fall back, probably.
Not peek? Okay, here's another question. What if you jiggle peeked? Like, pretended to peek? Try to bait a shot? You got me?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's an option too. Not peek, maybe find a sightline over here, or drop into here. Now it's freaking impossible. Because as soon as you enter this room, what's scary about it for him?
You probably wouldn't know that I changed positions like that, but he
So
still
which
has an
sightline can you
advantage,
peek? Which sightline can you peek? You can peek here, right?
Yeah.
You could also peek here, right? You see what I'm
Or
saying?
maybe even high ground. If
Or
I
you
knew
could
the
even
D.Va wasn't
grapple,
spawn.
right?
Yeah.
Right? But you see how many options are like available to you. And meanwhile, this poor jackass is like, He's just peeking this sideline. He's like, is he there? Is he there? Is he there? Is he there? And you know where he is. He's here. So then if I'm coaching this Widowmaker, I'm thinking like, maybe you don't peek at all. There's too many angles he could be scouting from, right? And that's exactly what you want him to do. Keep him in spawn.
And I took the wrong one out of all 3.
Like you have to really treat yourself like this is a duel of not just mechanics, but my brain versus his brain. Not just like, oh, I'm not gonna die to die, but like I'm gonna trick him. I'm gonna outsmart him. Make him move his crosshair while you don't move yours. The scouting advantage. And if you're able to leverage that more often, you're gonna have a much easier time. Let's watch one more fight. That work for you?
You could probably skip to where I'm playing Hanzo, I think.
Okay. You want to look at some Hanzo then? This is like a fruit medley of scan. You have fruitcake before?
No.
It sucks. Dodge it like a bullet. We'll send it around like a thank you gift, you know? I'd rather open a bomb. Okay.
What is a fruitcake?
It's just fruitcake. It's exactly what you think it is, and it's just as disgusting as you think it is.
Cake with fruit?
Cake with fruit. It's all like dried crap, you know? Disgusting. It's like, pretty sure it's like a war crime in at least 17 states. Okay, so this is just stupid. Because look at what you're playing versus, right? What is Genji good at?
Deflect.
Who's the shotgun character here, right? Not you. Not you, right? I get it if he's 1 HP, you know, or something, but like, come on. Because the thing is like, oh, I got away with it. Yeah, but what could you have been doing over here? Or what could you have been doing over here? You got me?
Yeah.
And you're crazy.
I could have done so much more value there.
You know, it's playing your range. It's playing your range. It's not about like, oh, play passively. It's just about play a deeper, more ego angle. Just stop face tanking a Genji. And I think when it comes to your positioning, nice shot. A lot of that, like right now, this makes sense. You force him to use his deflect before he even got on top of you. Nice. Play your range. Play your range. Play your range. This is okay. Still keep your distance, right? Nice. Funny how much easier it is when you're not being like point blanked on a Genji. Nice. And you said your mechanics were a problem. It's always the most hit scan of aim ever. If I just had better aim, I could kill a Genji at point blank range. Well, yeah.
You probably noticed my positioning on like most, basically what was terrible.
But what about your positioning? So let's stop right there. What about your positioning needs practice?
Like,
be specific.
I'll tell you this. Back in the day, I just W and kill everything. Now, I just still have the same mindset, and it just doesn't work.
No.
And it's hard for me to change. I actually have to play in the back and put pressure and basically be AFK and help the team.
Yeah, but see, that's also the wrong mindset too. You're going the opposite extreme. Because when we talked about your Hanzo positioning, what was wrong with your Hanzo positioning here? Were you too aggressive? Trick question. Just FYI.
Too aggressive, obviously, yeah.
Kind of, but aggressive in what way?
Oh boy.
Aggressive, like trying to kill a Genji that's full HP, which I shouldn't be doing.
Well, no, I think shooting a Genji is fine, but how do you approach this duel?
Probably bait out his deflect and dash.
Yeah. So you're not thinking about range, though. That's the problem. When I ask you what's wrong with your aggression, it's the proximity. It's the proximity. Look at how close you are to this guy with the bubble, right? That's the problem. Yeah. It's not aggression necessarily. It's aggression with proximity. Because do you see this? Is this sitting in the back line? Is playing this position right now, sitting in the back line, supporting your team? Where my camera is.
Honestly, I wouldn't say that was a good position as well, because I would be too split, and Genji would just dive in with a bubble.
Look at your supports.
Yeah.
I can heal you. If I'm playing Mercy, I want to pocket a DPS on an angle at distance, right? But see, that's your problem right now. It's like you only see two things. I either play very aggressive running forward, or I play super far in that backline. But there's a nuance. There's control an angle, right? Even if you don't want to play this deep of an angle. Okay, fine. Play an angle like this. Play an angle like this. Right? That's what I'm looking for. And so all you know how to do is Like even right now, like, okay, once Genji's out, nobody is stopping you right now from swinging wide with your soldier. Is this aggressive angle? Yes. Is this getting too close to a Zarya Genji? No. You understand that balance?
Yeah.
That's what we want to see from you. I think obviously like being a little bit more clever with your Venom Mines and with your Widow duels is important too. But I think in general, your problem is proximity, how close you want to get to enemies that you want to shoot, and how you're not considering creative angles and deeper angles. Be aggressive to the angles, not aggressive to the proximity when you're playing a sniper character. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, it does.
Okay. Good luck with your practice, mate. Appreciate you
Thank you,
submitting the
man.
code. All right.
Helped out a lot. Thank you, man.
Cheers. Who is next on our list, guys? Clups. GM1. Man, all the GMs are coming to town. Clups. Who names yourself Clups? Violating this guy before I even bring him in. All right, Clups, let's do this. Is Clups here? All right, Clups is raiding. All right, let's go, Clups. Now, I really should not. I really should not have been so disrespectful before I drag you in here. You're not going to yell at me now, are you?
Well, I don't know. You're paying customer, really?
Oh, jeez, my bad, guys.
Teach you that in business school. Teach your paying customer the worst.
Don't tell Zenith.
Boza.
Please don't tell Zenith. All right, what are we looking at? Any particular section?
Just you can play from the beginning. I mainly want to look at like blink usage against their comp with the Alari and kind of just the shooter characters.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, look at their comp. You got freaking Storm Arrow, Sleep Dart, Nade, Soldier Helix, Yari. But high distraction value if you time it well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you're already trolling, but this is like more of a map specific thing. This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. As soon as you see anything that resembles pokey like shooty characters, you need to get out of dodge. Where do you need to be?
You want me to take the far left flank through the doors?
Get all the way through behind, and then you have the mega to play around as well. It's just the mega. It's just the mega. But yeah, this is so much more valuable. Like if you're on this character, get out of here. Get out. You do not want to. Don't even waste any time. Okay. Because this is just man, like there's no crosshair movement at all.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be on the back line. Chris is hard at this map, but that's the way it has to be played. It's nice that you have a Kiriko though, but don't let that like encourage you to do the wrong thing. Because honestly, if I'm Kiriko, I would freaking love for you to take the deeper flank because then I'll follow you and now I will also get a deeper angle, right?
Right.
Okay. Now you're like, oh crap. What is this skin? This is actually not too bad.
This skin's awesome. It's synthwave.
Nice. Not the skin, the shots. Skin too. Nice. Move. Okay. I actually don't like this very. I actually don't like this very much. Like I understand your concern here because you're like, oh, what the heck, this stupid Winston jumping me. But where should you?
No reason.
Where should you disengage be towards?
If I want to disengage at all, I can either disengage back towards my Kiri, or I can just blink right forward, right into my team.
Right. I like the rewind, the backup.
Yes.
Because I want you to hold this position. I don't want you to restart all over again by playing inside of your team. I think even though it's Winston, I mean, you and I both know.
I shoot Winston.
Yeah. I think you disengage out this direction. I think you hold the angle. I think you keep up the pressure. I think you hold the angle by just blinking out. Because this is like...
Yeah, it's ugly. And I mean, you low and blinks.
Yeah. I mean, it works all right, but not amazing. I think your Kiri actually dies for that as well. I think the Winston gets low, but Kiri dies. Just kind of sucks. And then you can see the problem, right? Yeah. By not disengaging, now you're kind of stuck. Because what are you going to do? Hang on, guys. Yeah. Let's take a quick pause. No. You're screwed. You have to stay here now.
Yeah.
Or Renato. That's a stream. Sounds
like, he was really
South American or something.
He AFK'd at the end of the game. This guy's only gotten... He gets toxic every single game, but... I don't join voice chat. I don't know if he talks.
Fair enough. Stage ASAP, right? There ain't nothing on that comp that's gonna stop you from staging. Stop screwing around. Get around. Go spawn camp. Go spawn camp is what you should be doing. You should be spawn camping.
Okay.
Because like this is so
ugly.
agony. Like
Yeah, this is so bad.
you're doing the right thing, but man, it's so hard because you're positioning so bad.
I can just be on left, yeah.
Be on left or like set up. I mean, honestly, that's probably your only option. You can do this here. I bet you didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, I forget about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
that's not
leverage
bad,
the mega, but this is okay as well. But yeah, I mean, setting up here.
What I do is an absolute nightmare.
This is good.
Yeah. I took my time with it, still missed, got the kill.
Do you know what? You know what? I respect it. I respect it. She's not looking at you. You know what? Good for you. Unironically. There you go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Deep in. Thank you. Go, 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 go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Ah! You gotta go. You hesitate. You gotta go. You got 3 blinks, right? 1, 2. Yeah, you're gonna be a little bit late, but remember, that's not that big of an issue, right? That's all right. That's all right. Because this is just sucky suck. Okay, this is good. Yeah, see, I like this. Like your whole intention on this angle is it's like, I don't really like this. This is too far. So what's my intention? My intention is get to here because it's shorter, mega health back, right? And that's exactly where you kind of lean to. Now, obviously, this is not going to remain good because as you can see now it feels too far.
Yeah.
So once you deal with this Winston, your next step should be, okay, what's the next angle that I want to take, right? So you tell me what's step number 1 or step number 2.
I want to go through the flank that you talked about earlier.
Right,
on
exactly.
This side.
The flip side, right? So this is exactly what we want, and then we can lean into here. But even from here, right? Can you stay here for like 6 years? Maybe. What's the next step?
From there, I could either. It depends on how the fight goes, obviously, but I could probably deepen onto the Ash.
Sure, deepen onto the Ash, and then also flip around to here, right? This is now you deepen to like you're thinking like a couple steps ahead, right? Yes. Ah! My gosh!
Yeah.
that is absolutely. That is like.
I just
That's
saw
like
the auto there
PTSD. Oh my gosh! What the heck, dude?
A Life of a Tracer player.
Holy jump scare. Yeah, I mean that's all right. You can live with that. I'm so shocked that you don't like even attempt to stage against these non-mobile comps. Like you don't even attempt. Like you have time to blink here. They're not going to stop you. They're not going to stop you. And again, you have another spawn camp opportunity here. Like you'd have to understand like the threat of spawn camp can win your team fights. You know? So maybe why aren't you staging here? Is it a push thing? Is it unfamiliarity? Is it like, I think I might get shot? Like
I think I'm a little bit afraid of their comp, but I don't think I should be. Like I feel like I'm assuming that they're like, their Alari and Soldier is gonna be on like left side and they're gonna be playing that angle like or something, and then I just don't go there, even though I see all of them main stacked. Right. But like I think I'm just a little bit afraid of the comp.
Right. I think so too. Okay, so I'm just curious. I wanted to find out because I think like it just seems like it's costing you time unnecessarily. Yeah,
I agree. And taking damage unnecessarily too at some points.
Yeah, because now it's like because you're not staged, it's like it's awkward now. This is good. This is good. Yeah, this is really good. It's funny how situational that character could be. Totally unkillable, but also like no pylon. GG's.
Goodbye.
Oh, you're cracked. Nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done. Now, to be honest with you, what should you do right now?
Spawn camp.
Spawn camp, right? Because there really isn't any. Because you can look at the situation here and like, maybe I go here. There's not like a good angle, right? So then spawn camp.
Okay.
It'd be a good general rule.
Yeah, I pretty much never spawn camp unless it's like a Baptiste or like an Ana, but I should do more.
And you know it's good when a support player, abuser myself, is like telling you to spawn camp. So I'm taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Taking one for the team just to tell you how good it is. Or maybe I'm actually gaslighting you. Maybe I'm not really sure.
Maybe.
Let's watch one more fight. That work for you?
Yeah.
So hustle the staging, considering spawn camping as an option. I mean, see, here's the thing. This is where it's okay to do what you're doing and not deepening, because if people mark you here and they're like actually isolated like the soldier is, not like the soldier was here, then you can like actually like take the duel, you know? You gotta be careful, but like it at least makes sense. There it is. Like the fact that Winston jumps, Winston bubbles. Okay, we can live with that. Right. So by the time he gets in your team, he's half HP, no bubble. He's gonna have to primal really, really fast, which we love that. And then now, a little bit lazy. It kind of looked like you were gonna pulse again. See this? You're like straight line, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. To be honest with you, I would shoot again and then recall. Get some damage out of that recall.
Yeah. I should have. I think with the LOS of Ashe and Alari, like at that break point, I'm so just...
I get you. I get you.
Yeah. Okay.
This fight has been like mechanically poor from you, but I think in terms of the positional stuff that we talked about, it's been okay. It's been okay.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be about aligning the stars. Like have the fights where you play mechanically decent, you also make good decisions.
Yeah.
And really, to be honest with you, I would not be. Yeah. I would not be concerning myself with this. Right. Let the Winston do his thing. Cut the underbelly. Right. Go spawn camp the soldier or go back for the backline. You can't concern yourself with this. It's just a sense of priorities, right? Okay. So main takeaways. What do you got to worry about?
Set up fast. And pretty much always stage, and then try to ask yourself if I can deepen my angle, and then look for more opportunities to spawn camp.
Please don't deepen your angle.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, man. All right. Good luck. Cheers, brother.
Cool. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Before I keep going, I gotta think my chat. So hang tight, Elo Master guys. 1 second. All right. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, Farouk. I also have had a lot of other subs from a couple of you guys. I really appreciate the gifted subs and also just the subscriptions as a whole. This is an Elo Mastery project, so I'm trying to stick with the project until we finish it all the way through. But I really appreciate the generosity, guys. Love and kisses. We'll have this Moira rework stuff starting soon. Exclamation mark Elo Mastery if you want to get on this. This is all free, at least as of right now. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's keep going here. So who's the next fixed? I mean, who's next on the list? Okay. Chips. Another GM player. You guys are crazy. Chips here? Chips. Chips is here. Chips, do you want to join? You can raise your hand if you'd like, or I can disrupt. All right. I'll move you in. Wait. Yeah, there you go. What's up, Chips?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Name's awesome. The Z just adds that type of pizzazz that... I think a normal S just could never do.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the worst thing is you have to tell me what your name is. And if it's not as sassy in this code, I'm going to be super disappointed. Oh, wait, it is Chips. For some reason, I just totally didn't see you. I was like, please tell me you're not GCM or like Day. I was hoping for Salon Llamas. That's pretty good. But this is all right, too. Alpha
we
Spectre.
We can skip first fight.
All right, sounds good.
This is when I throw in Hanzo, so.
Okay, well, we love that. All right. Sojourn.
So, like...
In
this game, it's weird. So, like, we're playing against a pretty fast comp, but it kind of felt... Well, like, it felt like they were doing a good job. Like, their queen was in my walls, basically. Which basically means, in my mind, that my positioning is pretty bad.
Okay.
But it's also weird, because I want to cycle, like, a Soj shot as fast as possible. But I feel like if I play in that position, it's really awkward. And I get inted on.
Okay. What's the advantage of Sojourn? Like, what are your strengths? Why did Hanzo feel so bad? Let's just ask you that question.
Well, Soj has shift. So she has a lot more mobility, yeah.
Right. So how do you leverage that low mobility? That's always the most basic question I always ask, right? How do you leverage that? You tell me.
So you can take a pretty aggressive angle, but you have to be able to get out to a point where they can't pursue, or if they do pursue, then it's really, really bad for them.
Sure. I would like to think of it as like they have to use either shout or their amp to get to you. Enforce your shit.
Okay.
And then that way that they could pursue additionally with another cooldown, but your team should be equipped to catch that.
Okay, I'm gonna take notes well.
Sure, that's fine. Keep in mind this is also streamed, so if you want to go back and look at the stream recording, you'll be able to go back and catch it again.
Thank you.
Well. So yeah, of course. So then that's the big takeaway, right? The other thing to consider as well is like if you guys are the one engaging in, if you guys are the quote unquote setting tempo, you can shift into a more aggressive angle a lot faster than So let's just take a look. Are you good to watch this from this point here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. So this feels awful. because you don't get any value out of playing Sojourn in this position here. So I'm curious to see how you guys will rotate.
Yeah, so I also felt the same way. I was looking at right side, but then I'm not like super familiar with this map.
Too
so
far,
I saw
right?
this left side. Yeah, that felt
Yeah.
way too far. So I saw this left doorway after you walk through the first doorway. And I
Brilliant.
thought that might be good.
Brilliant,
But-
right? Because you still have a disengage, you have cover, you have support
exactly.
LOS, right? So yeah, I love it. I love it. I also love the fact that we're actually entering this fight with a rail. So like, see what we got. Also, holy mother of ease. You know what I'm saying? Like you throw this here, that's going to be absolutely monstrous to deal with.
Yeah.
Nice.
I usually wait to don't look at the chat. I usually wait to look for like the tank engage, and then I throw an E to kind of block it off.
Sure.
But I'm not sure if here, since they're kind of running like an immobile BAP and Bastion, maybe I can look for like a earlier E. Is that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think E,
Mhm.
the number of times where E is good and the number of times when E is bad, there's just so many freaking uses for E. You could throw your E in the corner. You could swing wide and throw E in the back line. You could throw E where the Junker Queen is and force it to rotate back or forth. It doesn't matter. Just use it. Just use it.
Okay, makes
right
sense.
now, there's a fight starting right now, so please use it. So first off, obviously hit your rail. That's the big one. But then the next one, if you throw your E here, Reaper cannot peek. Lucio has to disengage. Junker Queen's isolated. Right? If you throw it on the Junker Queen has to back up. Your team gets with the choke without having to worry about carnage. Right? Which one's
sense, yeah.
better? You tell me.
I like the backline one, and they can't.
I like the
follow up.
backline one too. I like the zoning on the Reaper Lucio a little bit better. But use it.
But both are value.
But both are value. But use it. See, the problem with it now, the only problem while waiting is what if they disengage? Or what if they do engage and then now all of a sudden they've kited your E or they've pushed through your E? Now that sucks. Why don't you use your E as the impetus to force them to move, not after they've already moved? Something to consider. This E is not bad. Nice shot. And so what we want to do is we want to keep this as simple as you can, just so that you actually have stuff to work on. Hit the rail.
Yeah.
Throw the E faster. GG's. Go next. Don't overcomplicate. What do you think about this E? Will your team get value out of it at all?
They're stuck in the rotate. I probably should have looked more to see where my team was. To see
I think
if
so
they're gonna
too.
take a fight kind of there.
Maybe not even a fight, but just a poke trade, right? Like, is there any sort of damage going to follow here?
yeah.
Like, here's the thing. If you're going to use your E, I want to see BAP shift. Hey! Right?
Okay.
So
yeah.
that in that circumstance, it felt like, okay, maybe we're not like quite taking a fight, but man, this looks so fat that maybe it's worth using.
Yeah.
And guess what? It was. Right? It's all right. Not the worst E. And you know what else? You also correctly identified the potential problem with this E, which was, where's my team? Maybe my team isn't ready yet, right? Which is a really important and probably the most important question to ask. Nice work. Yeah. I like it. A little bit cheeky, but you're not totally split from your team, right? A lot of this is map experience, which is going to come with just experimentation. I think you need to experiment more. I think this is very reasonable. This is a mistake. It's an unfortunate mistake, right? Because it doesn't feel like there is a good answer. But there's a better answer.
Yeah.
What's the better answer?
Slide towards team.
Slide towards
Like
team.
Lucio. Maybe he
and-
boops him away.
And not or just here. Cover right here, right? Here's your BAP. Here's your cover. So here's what I want you to do, okay? So how could you have recognized this? This is freaking hard, no?
Yeah. Well, I heard the queen ult, and I thought he was gonna go like. Yeah, it is.
But my point is that you don't need to expect queen ult. You need to expect BAP window. You need to expect Bastion grenade. You need to expect Reaper TP. You need to expect Bastion
how do I zone
ult.
this?
Because the thing is like right now you're on a pretty aggressive angle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not gonna be a surprise if somebody looks at you, right? So I don't care if it's Joker Queen ult. I don't care if it's even sound barrier. Where are you going to disengage to? Whenever you take an aggressive angle, expect pressure and then ask yourself, where would I go if I got pressured? So you should already know the answer to the Jungle Queen ult now. You
Yeah,
see
it's
what I'm
just
saying?
any pressure is kind of
Right.
reacted to the same.
Right.
Okay, yeah. I get
My
it.
dad used to say in baseball, you should know where you're throwing the ball before the ball's even hit. Right?
Mhm.
And I think it's the same thing here. Before you even get pressured, you should know where you're going. So you're deep in the
Yeah,
angle
into my
and you go,
team.
the
Yeah.
second anybody goes, this is where I'm going to go. And not just into your team, where specifically, like we said, maybe Lucio, maybe Bap.
Mhm.
I like the Bap a little bit better, but it takes a little bit of
The
thought.
Moira, yeah.
Right. I like the Bap a little bit, also better cover, right? Like I think this is a little bit better
Yeah.
cover than here. I think this is a little bit spooky. But answer these questions before you get pressured. Take an aggressive angle.
sense,
I
yeah.
love it. But always have the what do I do when things go south? Because because that's the thing, is like you think about did you watch the Al Grand Finals last season?
Yep.
Shotgun final. It was Proper takes an aggressive angle. And they constantly dove Proper, but Proper always engaged. Always knew where he was going. Always knew where he was going. They have to. They have to. If you take a good angle, you just do too much damage. They have to deal with you, right? So then always know where you're going to go so that they can force you out, but they can't kill you. That's the difference. Like right now. You're gonna ult this. Is this greedy? Oh my days, yes.
Area denial.
Where's your disengage if things go south here?
This ends now.
Well, my team isn't in the same spot. So maybe back out the same way I came.
Maybe.
Or
Maybe.
I
Where
can go
else?
top right.
Yeah, maybe top
Or I
right.
can
Honestly,
go
just go inside of them.
Yeah,
Right? Like if
under,
they beat engaged pushed you, maybe just jump up into the middle of them, right?
Uh-huh.
That would also work too.
Cybernetics recognized.
Nice. Okay, that's good. Definitely a cheeky play, but I can live with it.
At your finest hour.
So always know, whatever angle you take, where am I going when I'm being pressured?
Yeah, where's my out? Yeah.
Where's my out, right? Where's my out? And then getting that E out ASAP. Okay. I wouldn't say as soon as possible, but as soon as a burst of good value provides itself. There's a burst of value. Is anybody there? I don't know. But if they want to peek, they're going to have to walk right through it. Jungle Queen's not isolated. Love to see it.
Yep.
Now, where's your escape route? Because you are, again, on an angle. Where's your Baptiste right now? Do you know?
I think right behind me to my back right.
Okay. So where's your escape route?
Right, just back to him.
Just backwards. Yep.
Uh,
Oh, dude, that's actually so juicy. That's hilarious. That reef roll was wild.
Yeah.
Again, here, you know, like, do you see what's happening when they don't deal with you? Right?
Yeah.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
I just get to shoot him, yeah.
You get to shoot him for free. So you always be thinking, I'm going to prevent you from ever having the option to, or from killing you. All right, let's watch one more. You got time for one more fight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make this good. Ashe. Ashe is tougher. She could take an angle like you and put out a little bit more neutral pressure. But when we talk about escape route, right? Hers is a lot worse. So even if she does think ahead of time, she might have a hard time like actually executing on it. I don't know what she was doing, man. I have no idea.
Think I'd ever let
Yeah, we
you
take
Yeah.
it. Escape route. Where is it?
Back right.
Back right. Yes. That's it. Where's your E right now?
Oh, that would be a fatty on either the queen or slightly behind it, but the angle might not allow me to put it slightly behind her. So
So just
probably just
throw
on
it.
the queen.
Just throw
Yeah.
it, right? There it is. There it is. I mean, look. Look at this poor Baptiste.
Yeah.
That's like 100 damage from that right there. Love to see it.
So
I don't know if you guys are
sad.
going to win this fight, but good E. Hey, look at that. That's good. That's good. The only nitpick I have with this engage angle
Mhm.
is you notice where your backline actually rotated to?
Yeah, right behind the.
They
cupboard
tucked in
there.
this way. So with the
Yeah,
power of
yeah.
hindsight, you know, maybe we could have shifted this way.
Yeah,
Hard.
you're right.
But
Yeah.
I will say you at least entered this fight. At least it looks like you entered this fight with an idea of where you were. So was this good? No. Was this bad? No. Could have been better. Could have been better. I lied. We're gonna do one more. If you don't kill 6, I'm gonna be so mad.
I'll try my hardest.
What do you think about the E?
Lucy. That's pretty fat.
Yeah. I think you actually stack with their E. Yeah. Let's see this. Hey, all right. Brilliant, right? Absolute misery to walk through. I think that forces BAP shift on entry, and it zones their Sojourn, right? Nice.
Yeah.
Nicely done. You don't have your shift, but you're going to have it soon. So I want to see you start egoing an angle here, right? Oh. If you don't Ajax, you just need to swap, I think. Nice job.
Do you think it's worth it to use Sojourn to force a beat or no?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think so too.
Because here's the thing is, if you guys know that it's coming, you can disengage it and still continue to get value as the beat is expiring. Because you can burn through the HP, right? Yeah. Okay. Nice job. Nice job. Main takeaways for you. What are they?
Look for my out and use E earlier if I see value for it.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to use it.
Absolutely. Good luck, mate. Cheers.
Makes sense. Thank you.
All right, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. Collapse. Collapse, you had a question? All right. What do you got,
Hi,
Collapse?
thank you. I'm back. Okay. So I assume you've heard of the 1.5 blink rule from Sword.
No.
That's where I heard it first. Okay.
Freaking
well,
hate Sword. Man, why would I care about Sword?
Well, basically, one of his philosophies for coaching Tracer is like trying to always stay above 1.5 blinks.
Yep.
And I wonder is like when are you supposed to be going under 1.5 blink? Because obviously keeping it like during the mid fight you want high blinks, and during pre fight you want 3 blinks. But like,
you tell me.
Are you just looking for like an opening where like you see where you see someone that's low enough HP to kill, or like? Because I feel like
Let me tell you a story, right? So once upon a time, there was a lot of people in the East Coast, yeah, early back in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever heard of the football team, the San Francisco 49ers?
Yes.
Okay, so back in the 40s, there was a gold strike in California. And a lot of people, not very wealthy people usually, but sometimes wealthy people, went all the way across 3,000 miles across the East Coast or West Coast for gold. Some of them found it, most of them didn't. But what they did is they reasoned that, yes, maybe this is a dramatic failure. However, the upside of risking that is being a filthy millionaire in the freaking 19th century. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
So now apply that to your blinks.
What?
Think about it. When you ask yourself, preserving 1.5 blinks is smart, yeah? But when would you risk it all? When would you throw caution to the wind?
If I'm gonna win $1 million.
If you're going to win $1 million, if you're going to strike gold, all right?
Okay.
If you see an opportunity to finish a kill, if I get this, we can maybe win this fight, or this is clutchable, or that Ana just used nade and sleep dart and is half HP, then nobody is going to shame you for breaking the rule.
Okay.
That's what awkward calls the cross. You know, he'll say jab, 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 throw a big cross. Throwing a big punch has its risks, but if it lands, it's big. For you, it's more about recognizing when you can break the rule.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
If the risk is worth the return on investment, then it's worth the risk. Okay, man.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, let's keep going. There it is. All right, guys, we're gonna keep going. Ryan is not here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm unfortunately not gonna be able to get to everything. You know what we should do is for the free, so we should start to have like Thatch is here. Thatch is next on the list. And Thatch is also here. So Thatch, would you like to jump at the call? Mike is cutting in and out for me. All right. How's that better? Thatch is here. All right, Thatch. Let me drag you in just a second. More Grandmaster gameplay. You guys are just really good at the game, I guess. Kind of silly. All right, Thatch. Let's do this. Hello, Thatch.
Hey, this is a pretty decent lobby, but I was playing Monkey. Monkey's probably one of my weaker tanks, and I really try to focus on him for improvement. Mainly it was like the first few fights I think I played Monkey, and then
You assess robot. Is this you?
yeah, that's me.
This is great. This is great. Okay. All right. So you're working on improving at your Monkey. Did you have a particular section or a couple of fights you want to look at?
It's the first few fights of the match.
First few fights of the match. All right. Checkmate, Chio, Dragons, Infamous, TTV. I don't even know how to pronounce that name, but I know these names. All right. Any questions in particular with Winston, or are we just going to let it roll?
I feel like I struggle, especially in ranked, like when I don't have like a strict dive comp, like with a trace or something. I struggle on knowing when to go backline, like when to stage or dive as much.
Sure. The answer is always. In terms of when you should be going for a backline. That should always be the priority, almost always. At least that should be your desire. The question is when is it a good time in terms of the positioning of your team? Like if I turn around right now, where is your Ana soldier going to be?
I think my Ana was on red side high, I'm pretty sure, and my soldier was stacked with me.
Yeah. So would now be a good time to dive the Sojourn?
No, not really.
Why?
Because their Doom would just jump on me and they blow me up.
What would the rest of your team just sit there and watch you die?
I mean, they'd try to help, but I feel like I'd still die, would I not?
Why? But why? That's just the question I'm trying to get you to answer. Why? Why do you feel like you'd still die? Because you're right. You would.
Because they're not really in position to help me.
See, that's it right there. They would try, but they can't. Where are they in position to fight? Where's the I hate using this term, but where's the line or the kill box? Like where are we fighting right now?
Probably top right height.
Top right height. This choke here will probably rotate in at some point back to here.
Yeah.
This area here. So if you dive over here while your backline is here, we're cooking. If you dive over here while your backline's here, you're out of your mind, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Chio is limit testing.
Yeah. He was
best brig in the world, by the way. Understandable bubble. Makes me sad, but I understand it. I think it was necessary.
Didn't want my soldier to die. I might be a bit delayed. The bitrate on the stream in Discord's a little low, so I have your Twitch stream up as well.
Okay. Let me actually, what I can do. Okay, well, if you can get the Twitch stream, then we're okay. Actually, let me actually check to make sure that everything is on, because my cloud has a tendency to back up in the middle of the thing. Okay, we should be good to go. Now, my only question here is, where should your attention be, at least mostly right now?
On their junk, that's kind of shooting my backline probably, and then if their soldier or if their Sojourn tries to deepen their angle, I can turn towards her.
Think less about the target, at least when the targets are all equivalent in terms of like how juicy they are, and think more about the angle or the positional threat of the target.
Maybe Alari.
Right.
She does have a really strong angle there.
Are you gonna kill? Are you gonna kill her?
No, but I can force her off it.
That's all that matters. And the best part about it is when it's a cheap angle like this, you don't even have to use bubble. I mean, you might use bubble to secure the kill in the turret if you want to, but she needs to go. You need to go. Because you're worried about like junk here, but your soldier dies to Sojourn, right? So why didn't you jump the Sojourn? Actually, stop. Your soldier did not die to Sojourn. You know who your soldier died to? Check this out.
Alari and then Sojourn finished her off.
See that?
Yeah.
He had to rotate away because of the Alari, and then he rotated into Sojourn. Alari did like over half the damage. That's on you. That's on you. Because you're worried about junk. But look at junk's positioning.
I can't clear him out anyway.
You can't clear him out, right? Right. And because you can't clear him out, it's coincided with he's also not the most important threat on your team. The tanking is as equal about you finding the targets that you need to pressure because they're free kills, as it is about the protection to your team. You prioritizing the threats is what protects your team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. It's like you see how you felt like you just AFK'd this fight?
Yeah. really
But
shooting on a Larry.
But there were opportunities for what we would call quote unquote soft dives, just to force people out to control angles. And you missed them, right? Okay. Tech, is that better? See, I understand what you're doing here. Like, he is slow, but remember, it's always like, you need to be like, is this okay? Or is it not? Use your peripheral vision here. Like, use your spider senses. What's happening right now elsewhere? Predict it.
The other angles are deepening.
Right. So, given what we have here, is what you're doing right now okay?
Not really.
You sure? What else could you be doing?
Well, actually, I mean, I could be scouting.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Right side, but
sure.
I feel like that's.
I think it's okay for now. Just don't put too much attention on it. Once he's out, get some scouting, right? Where are they at? Right? Because coincidentally, watch what happens when you drop on Doom. You see that? She takes a different sightline. Now, I don't think you could have dealt with her, to be honest with you. Just food for thought. She's too far, right? But food for thought.
But if it were a different angle, it definitely.
Right. And then you're making the same mistake here that you made last fight. I know she just killed your backline or your echo, but look at her positioning, right? Meanwhile, use your peripheral vision or your spider sense, right? What's going on to your right?
Yeah, I should look. Probably.
Doom, Junk, Kiri. You have to know these things. Like, this is Overwatch. People are going to take angles. Now you really, your alarm bells have to be going crazy right now. Because something and what is this guy doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is where we talk about awareness. It's not just about like prioritizing the right targets, but you need to assume that people are going to take angles and flanks, and you need to be able to like stomp them. Your pest control.
I just could not kill anything here.
Well, this is where we tie into your awareness, right? If you knew ahead of time where people were, then this would be a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
I think the big problem here is that I don't think you caught the Ashe here. You saw her go there earlier, and then you kind of forgot about her, I think.
Yeah, I did not realize Ashe was there.
And it happens. I wouldn't worry about it. I think all things considered, this is probably the better play if you couldn't have gone for the Ashe. It's just unfortunate that you didn't know where she was. That's all. It happens. Okay, let's keep going. Any questions so far?
Not anything in particular.
Okay, sounds good.
Touch it.
All right. Just get out. No. You're trolling. Yeah, just doesn't get it. You baited your backline to stay longer because you tried to touch after it was already held. So just disengage. Yes. You see, you're like, stupid. But she can't peek now. And not only that, but look at the cooldown of your jump and look at the cooldown of her jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
Good cooldown trade.
Right. So that's creating space. Kind of weird, to be honest with you. I think I would have stuck my big fat face in here a little bit deeper before bubbling, if that's something that you wanted to do, but sure. Or also just, not bubbled and jump the Ashe. That would have worked as well.
I think I go Ashe in a second to try and trade backline.
Yeah, but I went bubble here. I went bubble. I went teeth on this jump. This is toothless. Like that I would be shocked if you killed anything here. Absolutely shocked. Why? Part 1, you're not fearless. Part 2, you didn't have bubble. Right? So then that's the thing is, with the bubble is what blocks the CC, what blocks the healing. It what allows you to get more actual damage on the targets that you're going for. So just be a little bit more patient. Okay, we're good. We're not even close, baby. Out. Very nice. Not so nice. That's okay. Let's keep going. Oh no.
I think this is the last fight I stay monkey. If we want to look at another fight after this, I also go D.Va on attack.
We can take a look. We can take a look at D.Va. So main takeaways for your Winston. Actionable, specific things that you need to practice. What do you need to do?
It's
Details,
mainly,
right?
Yeah, it's mainly looking at off angles, forcing them out, even like, because I think I'm playing main a lot too much, trying to look for like hard dives when I just can't. I think I just need to force out off angles.
Correct.
And, like help heal for my.
Correct. You're thinking like, I'm going to dive backline on main. Oh no, they're too far away. I would just dive if I dove them, right? Correct. But then what are you going to do in the meantime? You're going to control the off angles with your dive threat on them? No, you're just going to sit there and stare at the backline, right? And I think that's something that needs to change. Okay. And to be honest with you, same thing with D.Va. Let's see how you do. Get her out. Get her out. Yes. Love that ability so much, really.
I think I stay top too long here. I think I should try and look for.
Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it?
The Lari on low, maybe, or the junk on height.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. The answer to both is yes. Now, why don't you dive Ash here?
Dive Ash on the right because I'm peeking every angle at once if I do.
So you'd probably dive for it, right?
Yeah.
What about junk? What about Idari?
I'd still be peeking Ash and Bap a little, but I might be able to force them off their angle at least. I probably can't kill.
Do you see how you'd minimize?
So.
You'd pressure the angle, control the angle, and your risk of death would be relatively low because of the cover, right? Don't stand and poke here. You're not Sigma. You got me? And guess what? And guess what happens with poor checkmate over here?
He gets stuck on the left side because I didn't go.
And now he has to leave, right? It's the same thing with Winston. The difference between you and Winston, though, is that there is a lot less kill threat when you actually dive something, but there's a lot higher chance that you survive. So what you do is you trade off the quality with the quantity of how often and how frequently you can control off angles. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Like again here, recognition, right? So like, here's a good question. What happens if you look at this and you're like, I can't dive any of these targets? Think 2 steps ahead, right? Could you stage? Could you stage for some of these targets?
Yeah.
What happens if you fly? Well, you tell me.
If I fly on like a Lari or do you
anything,
mean if I fly into a different angle.
Think 2 steps ahead. You can't. You could fly in the EDRE, but maybe you can't kill her right away. Maybe she's too far out in the open. Okay, give me another option.
I could like just fly left side and start staging a dive there, so I don't have to go as far.
Why is this? Okay, so then what can they do to stop you from taking here?
Their D.Va could try and push me out.
Okay, but then what does that enable the rest of your backline?
To walk up.
To walk out. Is a D.Va going to be a serious threat to you by herself?
Not really, no.
Obviously, no.
Especially because I have checkmate on that angle.
If they ignore you, then what can you do from this position or this position?
I can stage a dive.
Stage a dive without using your boosters. You got me?
Yeah.
So you either control an angle without necessarily the intent to kill, but mostly the intent to control, or you use an angle to set up on their backline. See, that's the problem. A lot of like plat divas are like, oh, what do I do if they're all grouped up? I'm like, bro, if they're all grouped up, you have any angle that you want. You could just fly here and just like drop out on the Baptiste or drop on the anything. You got what I'm saying? You need to recognize this here. It's hard because it's a dive character. Dive characters are always harder. That's just the nature of the character. When you can position anywhere you want, that introduces variance, which makes it difficult. But you're only trading tank. Thankfully, she's also just as stupid as you are. It's a joke. But you need to be better than this, right? You need to be better than this. And the problem is that all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in this, and you could just lose to checkmate just dying to a Junkrat. You know? You could just lose to, right? You're praying that checkmate actually wins that 1v1. Otherwise, all of your tank trade advantage is gone to pot. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see.
This game is hard, man, and the characters that you're playing are even harder.
Yeah, that's why I usually play like brawl characters, but I'm just trying to pick up dive a lot more.
I respect it. Good for you. This is great, by the way. Look what you just did.
Force
No
them
high
all
ground
off.
for you. No high ground for you. And not only did you deny them the high ground, what also can you do now?
Stage or dive without using boosters.
You can use the high ground. Right. Exactly. So obviously, just like I talked about in the Plat Genji VOD review, I mean, you lose the slight, oh no, but you have to be objective about like some of the decisions that you were making. Okay. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's wrap that one up. Cheers, mate.
All right.
Thanks for your
Thank you.
questions. All right, chat. Let's do one more. I wish I could do more, but we do have to get to the Moira rework thing on my stream, and we've run a little over. So we're gonna get to one more here. And if you posted a code, you didn't get to it, I apologize. But I appreciate everybody being here. I think it's Evo next. Yeah, Masters 5 scrim. Let's do this, Evo. Am I butchering your name?
Hello? What did you say?
I said, am I butchering your name? Is it Evo?
Yeah, Evo.
Okay, good. Phew. Get this.
A lot of people say Evo sometimes, and that's
Evo?
butchering it.
See? Okay. See, I knew it. I should have trusted my instincts. Okay, what are we looking at here? Masters 5 scrim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could look at like the second point, this point we sort of just full hold, so.
Sure, let's do it. Oh, look at that. Look how good I am at this game. Did you see that? One click. That's just phenomenal. Okay, I found it immediately. All right, any questions or you just want to look at the gameplay?
So usually I don't play Bap all too much, so I just feel like my cooldown usage and like positioning has been really bad with the character.
Okay,
Like,
okay. So when you say cooldown usage, what particular? Because it's a little bit vague.
My lamps, my lamping. I feel like
Okay.
I'm either too late on lamps or don't know when to actually like use it properly.
Okay. How do you use it properly?
I would like to wait until like I really need to pop it for like someone that's really low.
Sure.
But
Sure.
There's a lot of times where I would like, okay, I think I might just heal them here, but then they die because I don't lamp instead of.
How does Zarya survive? Where is Zarya's survivability?
Her bubbles.
Okay. So do you lamp Zarya with bubbles?
No.
Do you lamp an Orisa with Fortify?
No.
Do you lamp a Ryan with Shield? You kind of see what I'm saying though, right?
Yes.
So a lot of what Baptiste is, it's not so much like reaction time, so much as like tracking something so that it makes it easier for you to make the decision properly. So you go into this trade right now, and I know you're thinking about like a trillion things. It is crazy. It's hectic. It's all sorts of stuff. But I see one bubble. Yeah.
Yes.
I see two bubbles. I think you probably could have greeted your lamp a little bit more in here, but I also don't think this is a bad bubble. Why? Or bad bubble lamp, excuse me.
Because Lucio.
Yeah, because Lucio, and also this is it, right? This is our last bubble. We are cooked. So this is good. We'd love to see it. Now, on top of that, let's shift. You should have shifted that one a little bit faster. But that's okay. Part of that was also he walked out of lamp. That's more on him. But yeah, it's all right. So good lamp, right? Good lamp. But it wasn't an accident that was a good lamp. I mean, actually, it might have been, but we know exactly why it was a good lamp. No bubbles. People were crit. Gotta go. There's one bubble. If you lamp this right now, it's trolling. Why?
Because she has another bubble.
Well, she should have a bubble, no? She just used one. And sure enough, there's the second. In addition, she's also behind cover. So this would be a bad lamp, right?
Yeah.
You're waiting for that next bubble. There's the bubble. There's the shift. Where's your lamp? Do you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
She look at when she dies. It's close. But no bubble. You got me?
Yeah.
She needs
I was
that.
too greedy on the
She needs
lamp
lamp.
usage.
Now I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If you miss lamps on situations like these, where you used your shift, which was good, and you felt like she should have had the second bubble, because I mean, come on, like look at the bottom right. It's like 0.01 seconds, right? It's okay. I'm being picky to prove a point, but I actually think this is not too bad. I felt like she should have had bubble. We were off by like 0.1 seconds, right? Unfortunate. But you see,
I was able to keep him up.
Right,
that's why I didn't.
And that's okay. But you see what we were looking for, right? And
yes,
that one as well.
I wasn't.
Why?
Yeah,
is
I never
this
really
bad?
look at the usage all too much.
Why?
I usually just like.
Why is this lamp late? You should have lamped this guy way earlier. Why?
I don't know. I maybe
Think
I thought
about the
I could heal
character.
him.
Think about the character that you're playing. What does Bastion have for survivability?
Just his turret form.
Just
I
his
guess.
turret,
Like,
turret form, right?
Nothing really.
Turret form, which has damage reduction and an armor
And
heal,
like,
right?
Mhm.
So you would have to lamp this, but you could maybe greed your lamp half a second later, right? Just to get a little bit more
Yeah.
duration out of it. The problem is does this Bastion have his turret form?
probably not, because I simply just used it. Yeah, he has
Right.
no
So
cooldowns.
no armor, no damage reduction, no cover. Lamp comes in late. Now, again,
Should be
is that going to
instant
change?
lamp.
Right. So is that going to change this fight result? No, to be honest with you. But it's like we're trying to build the skill. You know, we're trying to build the
Yes.
skill, and I think this is what you would need to practice. Now, you notice that I'm only choosing a couple of characters. I don't expect you to track Soldier heal station because that's not very impactful. That's not going to keep the Soldier alive versus burst damage, right? And also, it's too confusing to track 75 trillion different cooldowns, right? So just start with bubbles. Maybe throw in Bastion. Maybe throw in a Mei ice block if you ever play with Mei. Do you guys ever play with Mei?
Yeah, we did.
You guys
I
ever
think,
play with Reaper?
last game? Yeah, we did.
So you can probably guess what cooldowns we're looking to track there too, right? So what I would do is
Yeah,
I would
race
just
form.
I would just focus on tracking one cooldown, whether bubbles or Wraith or Bastion, and just pick one and work at that. Make sense?
Yes,
Okay. It's hard though, you know? It's hard.
yeah.
Especially because like the amount of time that you have to react, it's like you don't really have much time to react. How many
But I know
bubbles does
they-
Yuzari have? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was about to say their BAP head was I didn't play BAP in the scenario, but we had a different control map we scrimmed on, and the BAP was really good on his lamp usage and went to actually lamp their tank. And I bet you he was tracking his Zarya's bubbles.
I bet it. And the nice thing is that if you practice this more often, you'll be able to do it a little bit more without thinking as much. It'll get to be a little bit more natural, right? So that you can free up. Because what's going to happen is you're going to focus really hard on cooldowns, and you might mess up like your regenerative burst. You might mess up your like damage heal weave. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You'll get better at it, and then you'll be able to go back and practice those other things. How many bubbles does Zarya have?
I didn't really pay attention. I assume one.
I'm gonna guess one. I think she's just getting her second.
Okay.
Okay, we're both right. We're both right. I was a little bit off. She doesn't quite have the second yet. You were a little bit too conservative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Good to know.
I think I insta feed here.
I would use my ult right here, to be honest with you. Well, what are you doing? Okay, yeah, that's just a feed. I'm not gonna lie. We're not gonna sugarcoat that one.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
It happens. Uh-oh. Use it. Nice. Lots of space, right? Even if they don't get a kill out of it, it's a lot of space, right? What's the status of your Zarya bubbles?
It's probably one.
I would guess one as well. Nice. What's the problem with this lamp? He's got no turret form, yeah?
Yeah,
But
he didn't need it.
he's behind cover, right?
Position.
Cover.
Yeah.
I think that's really, if you want to track one other thing, it needs to be cover. It needs to be cover. If the person's behind a wall, you need to trust that they're just going to live. Okay. That's going to be that. Let's keep going. It's a good try. Any questions so far?
No, I don't know why I just never thought about tracking the usage of their own teammates.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like people have been talking about tracking cooldowns since 2016 when the game came out, right? But the problem is that people like, and I used to be one of those guys. They're just kind of like, I don't want to do. It's not that important, right? Because if you think about tracking cooldowns, it's just overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming. Yeah. Like, and surely, but that's why you have to selectively choose, whether that's the Junker Queen shout or like right now, right? What do you need to track?
The fortify and like spin.
Yep, that's it. Let's see how you do. Not everything, just something.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool. I like this little play here. This is nice. There's fortify. Oh crap. Look at the greed on that lamp. Holy crap. You just trusted the shift there. Now, what do you think about this lamp?
I'm not sure if it was fully needed
Why?
because she's, I still has spin.
Right. But is it a bad lamp or is it just an okay lamp?
I think it's okay. He survives with it, and I could get him back to full health.
Yeah. So the other thing that you're thinking, you probably did this without even thinking, but does your Orisa have cover right now?
No, just
no, she doesn't.
Open.
But well, she does on one angle, but you just got shot out by a Sojourn, right? On the other angle.
Yeah.
Right. So you're thinking, oh, she's going to get shot in the back, and you're right. So she might not have been in the middle of the javelin spin. She might have just died.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? So lamp grade. Give it a B. Not bad. Not bad. Could have been better. Could have been trust your Orisa a little bit more. But also, we don't need perfect, right? You're not going to be perfect. So it's not too shabby.
Mm-hmm.
Good lamp. Unfortunate. Good lamp though. Right? He's out in the open. He's obviously got no defensive cooldown. That's worth noting. So. I would use my BAP window a long time ago, but I think that's the key thing here.
I think I kept it for so long. I kept trying to think like combining it with something.
Don't. Just use it. Just use it to control the sightline. Use it to get one kill. Use it to force people off of an angle. Use it to force people off of point. Use it to amplify your healing. So I think the other takeaway that I would say, along with tracking the cooldown for the lamp, is just use the BAP window. Don't worry about comboing it. Because the other thing too is you don't need to combo it necessarily with Bastion turret form, but you can. But the other way of looking at it is like the Bastion uses turret form. He doesn't have turret form. So what do you think the enemy team is going to do? Going to push, right?
Yeah.
But then you BAP window.
Yeah, like you keep him up and you do a shit amount of damage.
Right. So it's like you can combo. You could be like, all right, turret form. Oh no, let's push. Oh no, now they're BAP windowing. So you can either combo or you can chain. You can go Bastion, then we BAP window, and then the BAP window expires. But what does your Bastion have now?
The turret form.
The turret form again. Right. So it's like there's lots of ways to use the BAP window, is what I'm saying. So just don't overthink it. Just use it. Practice it. Okay. Experiment with it. Toy with it. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Main takeaways for you are what?
I started looking at the cooldowns of certain players on the team that
keep it simple.
Focus on.
Yep, keep it simple.
And just use the window more. Or just try to... Yeah.
It's that simple. All right, mate. Well, I appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome, mate. See you guys. All right. We're going to wrap that one up, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming. Stay tuned. Loves and kisses. If you guys have any questions, don't forget that the Ask the Coach, Ask the Community channel in the free access section. And thank you guys for all coming. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody. We'll have to talk with the guys. We'll figure something out. But loves and kisses. Thank you guys for coming. Okay, that was the ELO Mastery coaching call. Sorry we're a little bit behind, but we are going to get onto Rework Moira time. All right, guys, surely second wind. We got this. Now, I'm looking forward to this. This should be really, really fun. Because we reworked Mercy. Haha, kind of, sort of. Now it's Moira time. So in my channel, there is a channel, in my Discord channel, called Support, Rework, and Balance, right here. And in this channel, people have been absolutely dumping loads and loads, I was not joking, loads of Rework Moira foolishness. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through these. Now, I hope to goodness that we're going to be able to get through everybody's ideas today. The Mercy one took over 2 hours. I am too tired for that today. So I'm hoping that this is an easier one than the Mercy. I am praying this is an easier one than the Mercy. And what we're going to do is we're going to write down these ideas. Now, let's talk about how this project works. I don't have an inner track on the devs. I don't have any extra super secret insight at all. It's just me. And it's just me being critical of Moira, but not wanting to just criticize, but actually want to provide some ideas that can help. So if you can't provide something better, then you don't deserve to criticize. Will this be up on YouTube when the project is done? Yes. Now, I always like to start off by tracking what is wrong with Moira. So when we talk about, well, how do we fix the character, we need to figure out, like, what do we not like about the character, maybe what do we like about the character. So we did that with Mercy. You guys tell me, what's wrong with Moira? What's wrong with Moira? Let's make a list. I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be right back. You guys just drop it in chat. You let me know. I spoiled myself. I got ice water. You know, we're really going big time now, y'all. All right. Not impactful enough. Hard, inconsistent impact. Irish. All the support heroes have abilities that are fight altering. Moira has over unimpactful, inconsistent, unimpactful cooldowns. Evo draws. Thanks for the subscription. That was weird. Did you guys hear that? That like came out of, like, I don't even know where that came out of. I swear that came out of somewhere. Where is that? Feels very outdated and one-dimensional. Lolkin, thanks to the sub. Lack of play style. Thank you, guys. Dynamics. Not enough skill expression. Lack of skill expression. Mechanical or otherwise. I would not say total lack of skill expression, but definitely less so than some of the other characters. Okay. Too mechanically easy to play. Mechanical expression. I think that goes into the lack of skill expression. Not enough utility in your kit. Unimpactful cooldowns. Lack of utility. Stat farm. Which is a minor thing, but it actually is a good point. Very little dimensional counters mechanically intensive, very little effort. High value, too high value floor versus mobile harder heroes, right? Gets way too much value for too little. The problem is that she does not have any abilities that feel like utility. She just heals and does spam damage even with ult. She also feels like orbs are just most out of control, hard to express skill with. Okay. Came out of my headphones. How I'd relearn Overwatch video? Yeah, maybe. I also had an idea for a video of like what I wish I knew in gold, kind of a thing, or what I wish I knew in plat. Value commiserate to skill expression is the main problem with Moira. Yeah. Put those G's in there for a reason. Huh. But I think without Moira, support at lower ranks would be so much harder. Maybe. Because if you ask yourself, what's the value floor out of most of the dive characters? I don't think it's particularly high. I think we need to look at how. Maybe. Okay. Bad feedback on left click healing. You know, that's such a creative little criticism where it's actually true. Moira is probably the least satisfying person to heal with next to Ilyari. I feel Ilyari's feedback on her beam is also it doesn't feel good. Mercy feels great to heal with. Ana feels pretty good. Brig doesn't feel amazing. Yeah. So we need something that has a healthier skill curve. I need to change the title here. Let's add the bias command because we're always going to lean into, again, small disclaimer, we're leaning into the skill expression character because Overwatch 2 developers have said repeatedly over and over again that they want every character to be viable all the time. So to do that, you need characters that maybe have lower, higher skill floors, whatever. That's okay. But they can't be as egregious as they are right now. And we also have to lean into the dynamics because dynamics is having characters that are only niches, that only do one thing, is not acceptable in the Overwatch 2 environment. And that's not my opinion. That's how the game has been developed. That's what the developers themselves have said. So we need to find something that gives Moira more skill expression at higher levels, that makes her more interesting and more rewarding to play. That doesn't just feel rewarding, but that is actually impactful. The goal is flawed. The goal is flawed in the current design. The goal is flawed in its current design. I would agree with that. I don't think the goal is impossible or stupid, though. Give me a second. I have a cat attacking something. Give me a second. It's a fool's errand to say that every character will be meta, but it's not a fool's errand to say everything that would be viable. Like right now, I mean, think about it. How many heroes are viable in top 500 right now? Or let's say GM1. Almost all of them. The problem is that some of them feel awful, even though they're viable. And if you've noticed that our other reworks, all of our reworks have made some characters, the discrepancy of characters shift a little bit more. This Hog's in top 500, yeah. This would feel great, right? Okay, let's move on. I don't want to get into this debate. That's unfortunately where we're at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop ideas that I think are interesting. Again, exclamation mark bias. I'm going to look for things that aren't just, I think, good, but maybe weird, but maybe worth keeping a note on. With the Mercy one, we were like, well, I don't like that one, I don't like that one, I don't like that one, but that one's weird. Maybe we'll put some thought into that, and I wrote it down. So just because I wrote something down doesn't mean that it's for sure a lock. Also, this is, again, biased towards what I like. It doesn't mean if I don't like your opinion that your opinion is bad. It just is not lining up with what I want to look for. This is something that takes... And if you think I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments in the chat so we can talk things through. But doesn't mean that your idea is bad. It's just not something we want to go with. Okay, let's take a look here. Why is this not working? Okay. We're off to a great start. Oh, this is great. Look how many we're killing it, guys. We're killing it right now. Let's go. All right. ML. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to have like the elite ideas here. Having fun, different ideas is good enough. All right. DPS grasp and ult. Make your DPS grasp beam and ult beam have 2 layers. Currently, they're one thick cylinder beam. Now there's one thinner cylinder inside in the middle of the current thick cylinder. So hitting tracking targets more accurate, the curse system will be hitting with both cylinders to achieve higher DPS, like a crit box for being essentially. And if we're zany enough, and in a debuff on enemies for like 0.3 seconds when hitting them with the inner cylinder, which could be refreshed. I don't like the debuff idea, but I like the cylinder idea. I think the debuff idea might be too tricky to balance. Somebody actually suggested that. I think one of them does have that. We'll get to that. It's a good suggestion. It's a good suggestion. So I like the multiple cylinder idea. Where are we going at? Here we go. Multiple cylinder layer idea with damage ult beam to better reward accuracy. And this is what I'm talking about. If you want to let Moira still have be slightly more on the lower skill floor, whatever, value floor, whatever, you could still reward skill better than it is right now. I think it's an interesting idea. Let's keep going. Purple optional zany DPS orb. Purple orb now leaves a trail of smoke for duration. Just poison smoke damage. Probably not, but it's an idea. I think smoke in general is something that I don't think the developer. Am I smoking something? Or did the chat talk? Did the developers talk about how they don't feel like smoke would fit in Overwatch 2? I feel like it wouldn't fit in Overwatch 2, just considering how like open the map is. It would be annoying, but also like I actually think that there'd be a lot of times where smoke would just be bad. Maybe not. Yeah, okay. I knew I heard something about smoke somewhere. Yeah. Longer cooldown. Buff debuff orb that does something along the lines of make all status effects either 20% more or less effective while attached to an enemy or ally. The problem with status effects is that, okay, maybe I'm not thinking this through, chat, but like if you use an orb on somebody that's discorded or naded, I feel like this is either going to be really good or really bad. Could you even balance this? Like making Discord more impactful or on more impactful. Like how? Like whoa. But then also like, hey, I used a damage orb on somebody that was dynamited, so they took 8 more damage. It's weird. Like I don't know. Because I had the same problem when we were talking about the Sombra rework. Right? When it was like, oh, it's a strip mechanic. It reduces the amount of debuffs. But the problem with debuffs in this game is that they're like super like, if you can't like directly cleanse them, it's weird. I don't know. It's a good idea. I just don't know if I don't know if it's useful. Right, exactly, Trico. It becomes too much of a niche utility, like an unbelievably niche utility. Not a bad idea. I feel like this is probably optimal. Where you just you stop trying to give Moira crazy utility, but just make her like actual damage heal expression like functional. Ooh, this is weird. It's an interesting idea. Maybe. Under 50% resource. Interesting. What do you guys think about the orbs sticking? I'm not sure how I feel about that. My problem with, I don't know. Maybe if they like, maybe if orb was a skill shot. What if orbs move faster? Orbs stick, but have faster travel time. Smaller hitbox. No, it'd be for damage orb only, I think. Damage orb only stick. Burst damage, small tick. Like 50, then 30. 50. Yeah. Why could we not just do a stick for heal? Stick for heal too? Like, so you know how you like you how okay, here's a question. How much are we willing to what's the price we're willing to pay to remove bounce healing as a mechanic? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like bouncing in a room, heal orb, or bouncing off a wall and getting back with the heal orb, or like throwing your heal orb and moving with it. You're losing that if we talk about that with heal orb. Are we willing to make that sacrifice? Because I know what the first thing people would say, but that's the most, all the GM Moira players, but here's the heal orb. But like, is it really that important? Because like, let's be honest, how many times does a heal outside of healing yourself when it comes to team support do bounce? Like, dude, I've been coaching Moira from bronze to grandmaster to 500 for last 6 years. What am I saying? Like 4 or 5 years since the character has come out. And the amount of times where I have actually talked about bouncing and getting the right bounce angle for sustain, it's like it's the most overrated Moira thing ever. It's interesting, but the amount of times that it actually matters is like this much, like so small. So small. And everybody talks about it, but it doesn't matter. I even had that collaboration with Nolan. You guys saw it, right? And he was talking about how, like, you know, doing the Pythagorean theorem angle, like bounce off the floor and then angle, allows you to get slightly more ticks in certain circumstances on damage and heal. Mostly heal because the hitbox is bigger. But it was such a situational tip. You guys probably noticed it in the video. I actually cut it out. It was supposed to be a 5 tips or more. I made it 4 tips because it was so niche that I felt dishonest putting it in the video. I cut it. And this guy's the best Moira in the world. And I just was like, I talked to them and I was like, bro, this is just like, I look back and I tested it out and I tested it extensively on my end. And I was just like, it's too niche. It's too corny. Like it doesn't actually do anything. Bro, I left the Doppler effect, which was pretty niche, but I cut that one. I don't know. I'm just willing to sell bounces because, man, I just don't know. The bounce mechanic is oftentimes just as much of an annoyance as it is like a benefit. Why did I block you from Discord? I don't know. Why did I block you from the Discord? I didn't know that I blocked you from the Discord. No, that's fine. I don't know that I did. I don't know why I would. Remind me later and I'll look into it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just as much of a bad thing as it is a good thing. I think it's overrated as a skill expression. And if there's a better idea elsewhere, I'm willing to sell it. And I'm not going to let the, because the thing with Moira mains is I almost feel like you do need to keep in mind Moira mains opinions, but like the Moira mains are like the Roadhog mains and the Mercy mains. The type of person that is attracted to that character tends to be obsessive about it. And that's the problem. I'm not trying to stereotype here, but like, honestly, if Moira mains and Mercy mains and Roadhog mains get a little bit irritated at our reworks, that doesn't really hurt my feelings. Because the type of person that's attracted to that type of playstyle only is generally not somebody that I would trust. You know, it's a very low skill expression, corny niche here. Of course, I'm going to tick you off. Like, you know, guy like Nolan, I would trust Nolan's opinion a lot more because Nolan's a good player. But I don't know. The problem with Moira is not that people don't like her. There's lots of people that like Moira. But the problem is that nobody just plays Moira. Like, it just doesn't work. Throw Genjis into that too? No, because the thing with Genji is I've worked with enough people to where everybody enjoys playing Genji, even if you're not a Genji main. I'm not saying that like Moira mains, because the thing with Genji mains are terrible too. But people that aren't Genji mains enjoy playing Genji. That's the difference right there. That's the difference right there. Because Genji's a fun character. Genji mains are weird, yes, just as weird. But people that don't play Genji enjoy Genji. Right. You forgot people who are new to the game and haven't to main more because they haven't unlocked everyone. Right. No, I think this is assuming that there's going to be a lot of other changes about accessibility to the game and other things as well. So we're just assuming they're going to change those things. Obviously, I don't have an interact with the devs. I don't have any insight. This is just a fun project. Healing primary fire change to single target, similar to alt fire. Ooh, healing single fire. Damage alt fire range increase no longer heals Moira. Okay, hear me out, chat. What if you're right? What if we go back to the cylinder idea? Hey, Mari. And the cylinder, and if you don't get the inner circle, it doesn't self heal. I'm not sure how I feel about the self heal on the right click. I think at least to an extent it's necessary if we want her to be a viable duelist, because otherwise she's too bad at she doesn't do enough damage. But what if you had to like actually aim it? I'm unsure if we're going to be leaning into like a major Moira rework, if we're going to be making Moira in her current identity, but do a more skillfully, or somewhere in between. Mercy, we grinded at Mercy for a long time, and I don't think we totally changed her identity. With Moira, I'm not sure yet. But so we'll throw a couple of ideas that are super out there and a couple of ideas that are just, hey, current Moira, but better. And we'll kind of read it by the end. Have I done ball yet? No. We probably will do ball yet at some point. I think ball is something that is fixable with a few tweaks. by fixable, I don't mean like is hard meta, because the character is fundamentally flawed in the fact that he's extremely high skill ceiling. So, but in very, very, very high, low or high skill floor. Like you have to be very good at the character. So, but yeah. Okay. 3 charges of Moira orb can now target an ally enemy will stay with them until orb is on. I do like the charges. Orb charges less potent. So like less potent versions, you know, kind of like Symmetra turrets. Imagine Symmetra turrets with Moira orbs, kind of a thing, you know, where it's a little bit faster projectile, maybe the stick idea we would factor in there somewhere. Significantly lower resource. You know, just something a little bit different. What Moira's identity is supposed to be, we don't know that yet. I think the idea is that do we want to lean into her survivability? Do we want to lean into her damage/healing dichotomy, but just make it more skillful? We don't know yet, right? There's certain characters that like, I'm trying to think like what's a good one. When we did the DPS rework, we kind of had an idea of what we wanted Pharah's identity to be, like this dynamic, super mobile, explosive rocket character, right? And so we could kind of shift the ideas towards that. With Moira and also to a lesser extent Mercy, we don't really know what the identity is, because the identity is so bad in its current state that it's almost impossible to know what to lean into. So we don't really know. We're figuring it out as we go. You know, I always thought of her as being a duelist was kind of important. I mean, that is definitely an identity that we could lean into. We could keep her in the exact same, just more skillful. Coalescence. I kind of like this idea. I don't know if I like it that much, but it's an idea. So Cole left or right click one or other to amplify, otherwise both. Do you think Moira with cleave could be a thing? Maybe. It's a cool idea. It could be like a little chain thing. Yeah. I don't know. I want to see what ideas you guys have when we get to like the octopus Moira. See what we could do into there. I think the only problem I have with cleave is that it feels like, and I don't use this term lightly, it feels like potentially a fundamentally imbalanced thing in Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2 is a lot more spread out. So it's might either be really bad or really broken in certain situations where people are super grouped up. Like you notice, it's not an accident that a lot of characters are moving away from multi-target things. But I'm open to the idea. I think let's just see what we got. And don't feel bad about spitballing ideas, because that's all. I don't have ideas to bring to the table. You know, I'm just sitting here. I'm being the critic. It's easy for me. You know, using any input will I love reading this list and like all the Moira and Mercy suggestions, and people like freaking hate these characters so much. Yeah. Yeah, cleave for Winston isn't obnoxious, but it's also not necessary for him to do his job. But that is a good point. It's not like cleave is something that we don't know. It's possible. As long as it's weak, it could be okay. The only problem with Moira is that it would feel like her accessibility for her cleave costs less risk. Winston has to put himself at a greater risk to do damage than Moira does, is because of her range and also her more consistent survivability mobility. Like Winston has to actually engage most of the time. Do I do team reviews? I do. ! Coaching. Private or on stream for a slight discount. It's not on stream, but it's recorded. Rex. Green orb leaves a trail that when fault speed boosts allies, activated by selecting both damage and healing orb at the same time. That would work well with our change to orbs, with the charge and the faster orbs, right? Because the problem with a speed boost orb is it's too slow. right? The irony is that the orb moves too slowly. It's not bad, but it's also like if we had a faster orb that left like a temporary trail of speed boost, almost like a Kitsune Rush, but like tiny, you know? I don't know. I could see it. Maybe it's a cooldown. Okay, hear me out. Maybe it's a cooldown that allows you to use one of your orb charges as a speed boost orb every 10, 12 seconds. I don't know. It's definitely something crazy, but speed boost orb trailing on the floor, 10 to 15 meters. I would say probably has to be 15, even 20 meters for it to be useful. Maybe that's actually too much. 15 meters, consume orb, 10, 12 second cooldown. 10 to 15 second cooldown, 2 to 3 second duration. May is stun like a Rhine. What game are you guys playing? What if sticking a teammate with heal orb also gives them a speed boost? Could be an idea. My only problem with that is what I try to do with most of the buffs to support. We did this a lot with Mercy. Is what we try to do is we try to find a balance between buffs that encourage DPS, supports, and tanks equally. We don't want to do something that heals for a lot and gives a lot of speed boost because that's going to enable tanks. We don't want to do something that's going to give rapid reloads and damage boost because that's going to enable DPS. We don't want to do something that's just going to get a glut of healing and CC immunity because that's going to enable supports. So what we did with the Mercy thing is we found something that was kind of useful for all three roles depending on the circumstance. So it actually took some brains to use it. So in your case, I think it's an idea as long as the heal from the orb is weak. So if you use a heal orb and it's 80 healing, 70 healing, 60 healing, right? You're gonna use that more as the speed boost on the tank than the healing, in which case I think it could be balanced. Yeah. The hard part with Moira is keybinds, I think. Yes, that's true. Murakami, that's a good question. What we've done though with damage boost things is we've just nerfed them. In our Mercy rework, there's no damage boost for Mercy anymore. With Discord, it's 5%, 10% less effective on tanks. So in our little imaginary Overwatch world, we don't even need to worry about this. All right, ARX. We're strong low ranks, we can high ranks, no utility, but our raw numbers aren't high enough to compete with supports and high ranks that are missing shots. Okay, seems good. Whereas resource mirror now includes damage. Interesting. So this is kind of what a similar way of looking at what we were talking about earlier with under 50, over 50, right? Okay, Ahi, sounds good. Drop it in the channel. The healing half the resource, which exactly does now. Healing moves the resources down, damage replenishes it. When you're out of resources, you cannot heal and need to wait for it to recharge or deal damage. The damage half of the resource meter works in a similar manner. So in other words, the healing goes down this direction, the damage goes down this direction. Damaging moves the resource meter up, healing replenishes it. When you're out of resources, damage output is reduced by 50%. So you lose, not up as in more, but as in it drains it this way. While your resources are in the balance zone, Moira's next orb will have additional properties. So as long as you've not DPS'd too much or healed too much, if you're in this zone here, like you're not too low in either direction, your next orb is buffed. Balanced heal orb. This orb will have a cleansing property that can cleanse the first 3 hours of negative effects that it locks onto. All right? Damage orb. This orb will have a static shock effect that deals significant damage to barriers the orb travels through. What do you guys think so far? I like aspects of it. I think the idea of having resource management is good. I'm just not so sure what I like the orb thing to be. Mari, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hi. Well, it's not Amari. But I got Graham. Hi, Graham. He's a good boy. Would you like to come here too? Come here. Come here. She's trained so well. Hi. She respectfully says no. She thought about it though. I think she saw Graham and she was like, I don't want to go over there with the other cat. I like the idea. But I think the idea of the resource management being a part of the character is really important. But I do think that we do need to combine this with something else. I think the orb needs to be addressed as well. I agree. I think you have this is a interesting idea. I agree with you guys that the giving the cleanse on the orb is not necessarily good. Yeah. But I do like the balanced resource idea. Talked about that kind of already. What is this? The weekend back from the second beta? What does that mean? Does anyone know? I don't remember that. What did it do? An effect to reduce enemy damage. Yeah, that sounds terrible. I am not a fan of the idea of nerfing somebody's damage output. I think that's one we don't want to touch. I think that's as bad as damage boost, if not significantly worse. Because the thing is, it's like, oh, it's only on one target. It's the same thing as Orisa Fortify, right? But I don't like making you do no damage. That gives me a spooky. I think even if it was a skill shot, I still wouldn't like it. Yeah, no. I agree. That's not fun. That's not fun. Biotic orb charges. I do like the idea of more orb charges. I think even if you made like Moira, like, even if you didn't change anything about Moira, but cut her orbs in half, increase the speed of the animation, and like cut the cooldown in half, I think that alone would just be like a nice change, you know? But yeah, I think more orb charges is definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. Adjust. I mean, you don't need to even worry about orb duration if we're doing our whole sticky thing. You know what I'm saying? If we're doing the whole sticky orb thing, yeah, like Zarables, yeah. Projectile speed increased. Yeah. See, this is always good. I like this. Damage orb now reduces healing done by 30%. I don't know. People freaking hate antis. Yeah, I mean, obviously you would cap it at 30%, right? What do you guys think about a weak anti effect? 30%. But see, I don't even like that because you guys know exactly how this would be used. Well, what if it was blocked by barriers? What if it was blocked by barriers? What if it was blocked by barriers? Like a very weak anti that was blocked by barriers. And frick. Yeah, you're right, dude. Could we make it weaker on tanks? Crap, dude. I freaking hate that I can't do it because you're just gonna spam it at the enemy Junker Queen or the enemy Orisa. Crap, dude. You just spam it. Crap. Okay, what if we made it a situational thing where it was like, because we're talking about multiple charges, but maybe this is like the speed orb thing where like you could only use it like every 10 seconds or something. Yeah, maybe. Man, but I want like this is like a little okay. Yeah, that's true, Liza. No, damage orb slowing would be just as obnoxious, if not more so. And it would be also spammed on tanks. Every time we try to give Moira utility, it feels terrible. It doesn't, I don't know. Orbs need to get removed. I mean, if you got a better idea for what to replace your orbs with, I mean, I'm all ears for it. All right, whatever. We've sweated enough. Cleanse, we talked about it. Everything is spammed that tanks. Yeah. Yeah. I think probably we'll have to get to a point where maybe if we go back and do like the Discord thing, like they're gonna have to rework something like status effects affect tanks less or something. What's up, Qualify? Yeah. Okay. Keep in mind, guys, that we've reworked orbs already. Like our orbs are going to be smaller, move faster, and be less effective in terms of damage roll number. Skill shots. Passive heal tank needs to be emptied quicker. I don't understand this one. Am I missing something here? I'm not understanding this. Yeah. Yeah. You know, we're not doing too bad, guys. We're getting there. Oh gosh, the eye assault. I'm gonna get some ice water again, y'all. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We'll do a couple more. We'll do a couple more before I get more water. Freaking ice water, man. It's like a total life hack. Okay, what the flip? Okay. So less healing at more range. Increased range. Linger 40 meters healing range. What the heck, dude? What is that? That is crazy. She's guys, they're on Far Moira. For Moira. Dang it, guys, the Far Moira combo. I freaking hate that. You know, the Moira's like the Far Moira combo. You guys know the Far Moira combo. You can heal a diving monkey. Let's go. So basically, you're charging in Moira orb by doing damage. You're charging a Moira orb by doing damage, and then basically our ideas with in terms of like the speed. You know what I'm saying? You know, it'd be like it's like a. That's what's going on. I don't understand. Ha! I'm too tired for this. Ha! 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 There's too many steps. Oh. Please. Please. Too many is going on here? Everyone wants to cleanse, bro. Yeah, I mean, these are okay. I just don't know. Kind of weird, but interesting. So it's like a poof. You know what I'm saying? You know, honestly, both of these ideas kind of seem interesting. What do you guys think? Both of these like fire things seem kind of interesting. So like puffy heal with like HOT on like a recovery meter, kind of similar to like, you know, like honestly kind of similar to Yari, you know, in terms of like, you know. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Weapon swap to puff healing on 1 second charge plus damage 3 second duration before recharge, ramp up from 50, like super short burst sim beam. It's interesting. I think it's interesting. Maybe projectiles so she has to hit onto people. Offensive orb, if it sticks, does 20 DPS to stuck target. Heals allies for the amount of damage done in a 10-meter radius around the stuck target. Debuff, 30% healing received. Lasts for 3 seconds. Obviously, we talked about maybe the debuff is kind of broken. Yo. Okay. Remove this. Would this not be a more skillful way of self-heal for the Moira in 1v1s? Think about it. What if you had to stick the target you're attacking with the orb for you to be able to heal yourself? No, you'd have to stick. I think. What if we made orbs do what they do now, where they like suck you, but the hitbox is way smaller and there's no bounce. So it goes zoom past you, so you only get temporary damage, tiny bit of damage, tiny bit of healing. But if you hit it, you get the damage DPS effect, plus you get the heal for slightly more. And obviously small amounts. But she has no range capabilities anymore. That's actually a good point, yeah. Well, that's not true, because if it's a faster projectile speed, if she sticks it, the damage is still decent. You got what I'm saying? Yes, it would apply to her and her allies. And I don't think it would be spammed on tanks if it was a weak heal. Like we're talking 20 healing per second. What is right click heal now? I feel like I'm gonna get myself all mad because it's gonna be something way too high. Is it like 30? There's no way it's 30, is it? There's no way it's 30. 24, okay. But it could be like 20. 20 healing per second? I don't think we lean in to make her a brawl support. I think brawl supports are, there's a reason why brawl supports are kind of bad. Bap's brawl utility is terrible. Like, it's really good in brawl, but it's terrible everywhere else, which is why I think Bap needs to rework. You're already nerfing the damage to her offensive orb, though? Unless you get a stick. Unless you get a stick. Okay, I may have come into a potential problem. How do we balance rewarding right-click aim more while still making damage orbs worth using in a 1v1? How do we do that? Because either damage orb is going to be really bad in a 1v1. Well, no, wait a second, because it's still going to heal you. Okay, stop. So here I am. I'm 1v1ing. I'm Moira, all right? I open with damage orb. I miss it. Crap. I'm on... How do we do this with the charge mechanic? I think 3 charges may be too many. 2 charges, longer cooldown. Would there be an internal cooldown before you could use it again? How would we do that? Because what happens if you just throw an orb? Okay, got it. Hear me out. You throw an orb. It misses. It does a little ticky. Like 30 damage, tops, 20 damage. It does very low DPS if it doesn't miss, and it zooms right past. You throw another orb immediately afterwards. This one sticks, does 40, 30, whatever damage, and starts to heal you in the vicinity, small pulse heal, and a small DOT. As soon as you throw that second orb, you then start to right-click. The right-click has a much smaller hitbox. People say that Moira has a lock-on aim. That's not true. It's not like old Symmetra. It's just a very big hitbox. So you shrink the hitbox, and the closer you get to the middle, the more damage you do. All right? So then you put a shirt on. Okay, sorry. You get towards the middle, and you're getting slightly healed from the damage orb. No, it's not lock-on at all. Not a lock-on, no. You do get slightly healed, slight DPS from the damage orb that's stuck. And the right-click, the DPS that you're doing is a little bit inconsistent because it depends on how accurate you are with the beam. My problem is, how do we make damage orb useful if we're going to nerf the damage? In other words, why would I not just continue to right-click if the damage orb DOT is going to be really weak? But if the damage orb is what heals you in a 1v1 and is a fast projectile that rewards me using at range outside of my right-click, that's what's going to reward me. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm not saying this is it, but it's an idea. The numbers would need a lot of tweaking. It's not complicated. It's not. I'm just not. It's just you have 2 charges of an orb. If you stick it, it does DOT and HOT. If you miss it, it does DOT briefly and then leaves. Stack using 2 orbs on a target does not stack, it refreshes. Right click build up to a status effect that gives a bonus damage to orb. Ooh, yeah, where if you hit, like, what about the opposite, right? Where you hit an orb and you do more right click? Okay, the more I'm thinking about it, though, the more I think that, well, you say it, you say that, the Beast, but if her right click range is the same as it is now, then that's the only way she's going to be killing anybody anyways. Like, keep in mind that we're not necessarily, read my lips, we're not necessarily nerfing her right click damage here by much. We're just making it more skill based. And actually, her time to kill has potential to be faster if you aim well. Like, what if we did Kak's idea where a damaged orb's target takes more right-click damage? Ahi? Yeah, message me over Discord. Message it to me and I'll drop it in there. How would it be faster? Biotic Orb is 50 DPS. Good question. I don't have an answer for that. If Biotic Orb is 50 damage per second and right click is what, 40? 50. That's 100 DPS. The only answer that I have is that you very rarely get the actual 50 DPS beyond 1.5 seconds. Because usually it bounces away after, what, 80 damage, I think? Before it leaves. I think that's the general consensus. Listen, guys, I'm just spitballing ideas here. Depends on the Pythagorean theorem. Right. By the way, if you guys want to see what I was talking about with the Pythagorean theorem thing, check this out. Check this out.
Humanity is shackled. I will find the key.
You see what I'm saying? It's like 78 damage. Right? And then with Pythagorean theorem, marginally more. So time to kill, get 200 HP target. Little bit of right click there. Let me actually get the actual number on the damage orb. 1, 2, 3. Not even 75 damage. Not even 75 damage.
Your end is within my reach. Nothing remains.
Why are my speakers broken? No. Wait, that's the wrong setting. Also the wrong setting. There you go. The reality of the situation is somebody's not going to be happy. So I just want Moira to be more situationally duelist. I think one thing is for sure. One thing, no, most trig is algebra 2 plus. One thing is for sure is that damage orb DOT is something that probably needs to be nerfed. And then right click has the potential to be more aim intensive. Oh no, chat, I just thought of another problem. I thought of another problem with our cylinder problem, okay? Frick, man. What if we do the right click cylinder thing? Do you see how my cylinder is going to be in the middle on a big target? It's not going to work because it's going to be, you're going to do so much more damage to tanks through right clicking, and it's not going to be hard. You see what I'm saying? If we do the cylinder theory where they squishy, I have to be very precise. But if I'm trying to right click a tank, I don't have to be precise to still get the inner thing. Right, so I actually think our solution has to be, ladies and gentlemen, Moira has to headshot. I think Moira needs the headshot. I might be smoking something, but I think Moira needs to be able to headshot. No, because the difference between Zarya Beam and not is that Zarya Beam requires more aim. Okay, well, okay, now hang on. Okay, all right, guys. I need two camps, Bloods and Crips. All right. One camp argues in front and no headshot from Moira, smaller hitbox, or smaller-ish hitbox, kind of, sort of, but headshot. What do you guys think? Which one do you guys like better? You guys got me? So like this doesn't right click, this right clicks, right? No headshot? All right, I want to hear arguments for both. What do you guys think? My argument for no headshot is that it's consistent with beams in Overwatch. It's consistent with beams in Overwatch. And it's the simplest solution. My argument for headshot is more skill expression and also be freaking sick. You're white? Listen, I don't talk to the NA Mafia. Sorry, bro. The crit would have to be really low on headshot? Would it though? Would it? Seriously. What if we, like, we're talking about shrinking the hitbox regardless, right? This is not a headshot. You'd have to aim on the head. You could even lower, you would need to lower the DPS of the right click. Shut up, Biggie Cheese. I don't give a rip about what you have to say. Feels more rewarding. The be reward for aim. The difference between Zarya and Moira is that Zarya actually has kill potential and squishy. She has high charge plus right. I don't like the headshot and beam. It just feels weird to me mechanically. I think having a smaller beam overall would solve the problem of her beam being huge. I think I would take no headshot. It's consistent with beams and makes experimenting against playing a small number instances already more consistent. Would that allow the headshot damage to be OP in bigger targets? Yeah, see, that's the question. But remember, we're combining that with making the beam in general smaller. Like, for example, I would have to be shooting Orisa in the head here to be getting headshot. Cheers, Monitor. Doing well, thank you. I like the idea. I prefer to give Symmetra ramp up, but on a short 3-second cooldown. Yeah. The only problem I can see without headshot is that if we do the Symmetra ramp up thing on a 3-second, that would be used more on tanks. Damage ramp up would be on a short cooldown though, and keep in mind we're still saying that it would require the smaller hitbox. Like regardless of what we do with Moira, the hitbox likely is shrinking. You stick your orb, get access to the crit. Ooh. If Winston dives you, you have a consistent amount of time to do something about it. If a headshotting Moira fades out of Narnia onto you, then you have very little idea of how urgent it is to take action. What if the damage orb effect sticking is what allows you to right click like you guys were saying? Any orb stuck with damage orb, you can headshot. Yeah, I get the consistency problem. No, I agree with the anti-heal percentages. I'm going to put it as an idea. Maybe headshot on damage orbs targets. Orb can be blocked by barriers. Because the only thing I can think of is, would it not be abused that I can damage orb tanks and just right click tanks in the head? I feel like it's right. It feels like impossible to like really know without testing. Right. That's one of the nice things about the Kiriko headshot multiplier is shooting a fat body. You know, maybe that is something that's something that we need to consider. Think about Kiriko. Why doesn't Kiriko chat? Here we go. Why doesn't Kiriko spam headshots and tanks? Right? You have a spammable 100 and whatever 20 damage. It's not 120. Fire rate? Not fire rate. Fire rate's super fast. Just spam tanks. Like seriously, come on guys. Come on guys. Pick Kiriko and spam tanks in the head, right? Do you see what I'm saying though? The consistency issue is a problem. I am gonna admit that when it comes to like the beam thing. But my concern was, would you just not spam damage orb on tanks and right click tanks in the head? And actually, I'm not so sure. Because if so, why doesn't a character like Kiriko do that?
Luminous and ruinous.
A beam could do that if you hit the beam. Right? I don't know. Yeah. Like, what if we also like reduced her range a little bit? What is her range? 20 meters? No, wait, it's 20 meters, is it? Yeah, it's 20 meters. So for you to abuse a tank, let's say 15 meters, you have to actually be within that tank's range. Or 12 meters even. So if you want to abuse it, stick a tank in the head and right click them. You know? The resource meter? Yeah, we're going to have to think about the resource meter. Does it make it harder to heal our tank because of the resource meter? Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting that resource meter as a whole is definitely one of the aspects of Moira that doesn't feel super fun to play with unless it's like the entire kit is like revolving around managing it. Right now, it feels more like a gimmick than anything else. You know what I'm saying? It feels more like a gimmick. It doesn't really actually feel like... I mean, it definitely affects her playstyle, but it's not enjoyable for either side of the party. Guys, we drained Moira's resource meter. Nobody gives a crap. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We'll come back. We'll come back to some of these in a little bit. If you lower the range, I was talking about lowering the range of the right click, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, this is really cool, but you know what's going to happen, guys. All right, chat, say it with me. Who is this going to be used on? Tanks, everybody, say it with me. Tanks, yeah. Frick, man. Because it's cool, you know? Imagine this. There's a Rhine mirror, and I use a biotic orb on the enemy tank. Or a biotic orb on my tank. Yeah, that's true. I don't mind the lifesteal idea. I don't think we should just shelve it. I'll put it in the ideas. Here's a question, guys. What makes a debuff usable on a tank or a DPS? Why do we use some things on tanks and others not as much on tanks? Think about it. If an Ashe dynamites a tank, it's pretty bad. Why? Because dynamite is a raw damage output that proportionally does less of a tank's health pool, and it has an AoE, right? To where it's not super hard to hit it on a squishy. Anti is good on tanks, but Anti is also good on backline because if you're at least halfway decent, it's got the AoE splash, and the 60 damage matters a lot more in a squishy than it does on a tank. Sleep Dart lasts longer for squishies, more likely to lead directly to a kill. Discord, usually on tanks, but Discord is not a skill shot. It's you can apply it on anybody, so you can choose whoever you want to own it on. So to me, when we consider whether an ability is easy or not to use, I actually think tying a raw number to it or making it easier to apply is what actually discourages it from being on tanks. Do you see what I'm saying? Hear me out. So if you want a debuff to be used on non-tanks, it needs to have a flat damage aspect tied to it. And or its ease of application needs to be reasonable. I think. Can you any of you guys think of any other debuffs? Discord, Sleep Dart? Hinder. Right, but Hinder's a great one. Hinder is actually pretty bad versus most tanks because it's really easy to land on a tank, but the damage is meaningless almost. But the Hinder damage matters a lot more in a squishy. Sunstruck, another great one. You going for a tank with Iliari ult sucks because it's flat damage. The Hinder's really good versus some tanks, but I wonder if okay, the reason why I'm asking this, what do you guys think about this? The lifesteal effect. What if we nerf the lifesteal to like 20% and give it a healing or a damage effect? Hit by a biotic orb will take 50 damage or 60 damage and have a small weak lifesteal effect. Or will be healed 50 and 60 and have a weaker. So what it actually does is it brings the raw healing and the damage as meaningful numbers, which means that, okay, if I heal my tank for 50, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not much. Or if I damage the enemy tank for 50, 60, that's not that much. But if I give a small lifesteal and a small heal or damage onto a squishy, that matters a lot more. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Giving it a damage or a heal effect, flat number, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever, in addition to the debuff is what makes it less relevant on tanks. What do you guys think? Think about it this way. What if Discord Orb actually did damage, but did less of a debuff? You would use it less on tanks. Like, okay, chat, hear me out. What if Discord Orb did 10 DPS and increased the amount of damage that you're taking by 10%? You wouldn't use it on tanks, almost ever. Because 10 DPS is meaningless to a tank, but it means a lot to a squishy. That's kind of what we're trying to get for here. Where you go like, if it hit by Biotic Orb heals you for 50 or 60, or damage heals you for 50 or 60, then it's not the debuff that's 90% of the value or 100% of the value. The debuff is only 60, 50% of the value. When you have flat debuffs as debuffs, then it's not impactful. I wonder if we could balance more debuffs thinking about it that way. Nerfing their utility and buffing their damage or heal by slight amounts. Like what if Sleep Dart? Yeah. What if Sleep Dart only lasted for like 3 seconds but did like the 40 damage? You know what I'm saying? Or 30 damage. So in Ana sleeps you, you're guaranteed one shot. Or 40 damage, I think. No, that wouldn't be enough either. But you guys kind of see what I'm saying though, right? I'm not advocating for this across the board, but it's something to think about, right? I don't know. I don't want to get to talk about Discord Orb, but I think this is interesting. So I'm okay with a lifesteal. I'm gonna read it. Lifesteal, small percentage with flat heal damage to encourage squishies and not tanks. But remember, if we shift the lifesteal from 40 to 20 and we make more direct value, then all of a sudden the damage value becomes a lot less meaningful. Because remember, what are tanks strong at? Tanks are strong in HP. Tanks are not strong versus debuffs. Lifesteal for a flanker. The reverse lifesteal of the team to sustain through a fight. But it would still be usable on tanks sometimes. Like, right? Like if your Ryan's going in super aggro, 50 healing plus lifesteal. 50 healing plus lifesteal is still worth looking at, you know? All right. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, I think this is interesting. Is it Alex? The first ally, including Moira, to step on the bottom click grants the effects of a current fate ability. He's okay. He knows where he's going. What's going on? Oh. Hey, what's up, Sam? I'm not saying sock on. Sock on these nuts. Yeah, I got you. I got it. Dude, that's so 2019, bro. Yeah, the fade rework seems kind of gimmicky. Fade rework seems gimmicky. Sam, that never happened. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I've chosen to forget it, so it didn't happen. That's how things work around here. Sorry. Okay, good life. I like the lifestyle idea. I also really like how much you made me think about the whole thing. Cheers, mate. Yeah, thank you. I feel like my third eye has opened, where ease of application and raw damage numbers are what make debuffs usable on non-tanks. My third eye is open. Imagine if damage orb was a skill shot, too much of a skill shot, and did no damage. It would only be used on tanks. Right, exactly. Visa. Or whatever the heck. Dude, my third eye is open, guys. We understand things now. We get it. So it's like a little orbit orbs. When one or more allies are tethered by biotic orb heal, grass damage is scaled by how many are attached. Okay, it's a really good idea. I feel like for Overwatch 1, I'm not so sure that this would scale so well in Overwatch 2 with the way things are like playing out. I think it's a really creative idea, though. What do you guys think? Well, what do I know? Orbit orbs, scaling, and the more targets that you have sucked in, the more healing and damage you do. It just feels like it leans into her AoE design, but like it would be unironically less dynamic than where she is right now. It'd be more skillful, but like less dynamic. And I think that you got to be really careful about removing dynamics in Overwatch 2. I appreciate the skill. The dynamics are problematic though. Suck is hit scan, lower healing and left click, increase healing. Okay, pretty basic here. Damage. Slowing targets, reduce incoming damage for attached targets by 10%. Again, okay, chat. All right, chat. How would we balance this? Quiz time, education time. How would you balance this? Let's focus on the second one. Reduce incoming damage for attached targets by 10% damage reduction. Wildly broken on tanks, right? How would you balance it? Right. Interesting. So you're saying if you hit an orb, you buff yourself, CAC? Or you're talking about the target that you stuck? Yeah. My point is that I think this would be balanced if the amount that heal orb actually healed was nerfed significantly. Like, excuse me. If you had like heal orb was nerfed, so it wasn't a very effective tank healer, that would make you have to choose whether you wanted to leverage the incoming damage or the actual HPS. Yeah. Yeah. Reaper can't be one-shot by Hanzo anyway, so get rolled. The only problem I have is I feel like, okay, so I don't know if you guys... I don't know if damage reduction is like a very... okay, I come from a little bit of an MMO background, but damage reduction is a really hard utility to balance. I think it's really hard to balance. I think it's just very difficult to balance. Because you look at this and you're like 10% damage reduction, super useful in certain circumstances versus like with like tanks. But the problem, okay, so can I give you a good analogy for you guys? The reason why damage reduction is hard to balance is because it generally doesn't affect breakpoints that well. For example, if I have 10% damage reduction as an Ana, it can save me, but it might not save me. Like, it doesn't stop me from being one-shot by a Hanzo. It doesn't stop me from being one-shot by a Widow. It doesn't stop me from being two-tapped by a Junkrat. It doesn't stop me from being, like, I think damage reduction is just very hard to get value out of in a burst meta, which most of stuff is burst, right? You see what I'm saying? The only time damage reduction is useful is when you have a health pool where your fight phase is extended. Like, for example, like an Orisa benefits a lot from damage boost because she shoots and 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 shoots. But I can't do that. I can't really do that as anything other than a tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, there aren't other tanks that can take heroes that can take extended amounts of damage where damage reduction is going to be useful. You see what I'm saying? I'm not criticizing your idea, Chubar. Like you said, you're just throwing random crap at the wall. But I think I'm using. Can I be honest with you guys? I'm using this whole like rework discussion to like further my own understanding of like balance and stuff because I'm just fascinated by this stuff. I want to learn more about like what makes good balance and what makes bad balance. But damage reduction is tricky. Damage reduction is tricky because it's either too strong, it's either effective enough to affect break points that really tick people off, or does nothing. Right. So I feel like damage reduction, this is like the healing is really weak. So it would be like, oh, it's better for squishies, right? Or at least it's balanced. But 10% damage reduction just isn't useful for squishies. It might be useful in like an extended 1v1 versus somebody, but I don't think it would matter. No, I agree, Hug and Place. Basically powering up an orb, not as much. I just don't like this niche that much. I don't know if it's just me. I just don't think I like this niche too much. I think people tend to try to push her as a brawl support, but Overwatch 2, you don't have... Like, the Overwatch 2 demand for raw single target healing is just not as high as it used to. AoE healing especially is just not as needed. Like, you have two supports and only one tank, and a lot of the tanks have a lot of self-sustain, even if they do have bigger health pools. I just don't think furthering it into a brawl support is good. So this is more about like making where she's at a little bit better, but I think we can do better. I think we can do a little bit more better. Selects Ana, yeah. Coalescence scaling damage is an interesting idea, yeah. Too niche CAC. I think we talked about this earlier, is the orb balance is just something that's just not consistent in the dynamics of Overwatch 2 maps. It could be, if map design was totally different and like, think about like workshop mode, like something that like I just don't think it would work in Overwatch 2 maps. I think we have like too much like IRL combat things. I just don't think it would work. It's one of those ideas that like sounds great, but I just don't think it would actually work in an application. It's a good idea though. This is an interesting idea where you run out of resource faster, but you generate it from secondary fire faster. My only problem is that this isn't really going to help much because the range on her secondary fire is so long, and you would just tap it on tank. You know what I'm saying? I think this is in theory excellent, but it will never work because the idea is that you'll just right click the enemy tank, and you'll never have resource issue. Deagle. Okay, just for the sake of argument, lower the target's maximum health. What are you guys saying? Yeah, I agree. You'd have to do it like where it would still tick for damage, and yeah, it would be like 10% probably. Again, it just feels like it'd be either not a significant nerf. Like, think about it this way. If you're 1v1ing somebody as Moira, this is going to be pretty bad. Pretty bad. The only time where lowering somebody's maximum health is useful, it would be in extended 1v1s. How many extended 1v1s does a Moira have besides versus an enemy Moira? You know? Like if I reduce a Tracer, right? So I reduce Tracer's HP by 10%, 15%. That's like one tick of damage orb. You know, it just doesn't do anything. It's like one of those things where it just feels like I don't know if it would ever work in a first-person shooter with HP pools the way that they are. Like, we're not Call of Duty where everything dies in like this, or like at least it was when I played Call of Duty back as a kid. Like Modern Warfare 2, the guns were so powerful, everything one-shot you basically. Even like the freaking everything, like if you had like 3 body shots or a couple of headshots, like even like the assault rifles all like killed stuff super fast. But we're still I think the time to kill is still too fast for debuffs like this to be functional. I think the only way, right, percentage health stuff only works in like MMO health pools, I think. Make her damage a projectile? Maybe. I mean, it's a good idea. I don't think that like it's unreasonable to ask like a total rework of her damage overall. I just don't think it's something that we're going to be able to like swallow in here unless we immediately have a good idea. She grows nails and scratches people. Slay Queen. Yes, frames affect your play. 30 frames per second. What are you upgrading to? You upgrading to 60 frames per second? Are you upgrading to 60? $120? You're gonna notice it, mate. You're gonna notice it a lot in a good way. Past 140, 120, you're not gonna notice it a ton. But yeah, what's your screen? Right, you'll need to check your display. Your display might have a cap of 30 or 60. But even going 30 to 60 is a massive increase. Massive increase. Your monitor is 160, you're gonna have a good time, mate. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a really good time. You're gonna be seeing sounds like it's gonna be yeah. It's a big deal. I think yeah, you're gonna feel colors. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, you're gonna be very happy. I think. I mean, it's not gonna jump you up 7 ranks, but it's gonna make the whole and ranked experience feel so much better. I've played on 30 frames before. It's awful. I played on 60 frames before. It's also not great. I've been playing at 144 frames for a while. I've seen monitors of 240, and 240 was noticeably better than 144. But going from 60 to 144 is amazing. Overcooked. It's an interesting idea, but it's not functional in a first-person shooter because eliminations aren't secure, aren't guaranteed. And if you get an elimination, it means that the fight is generally over. So what you would do is you'd have Moira would be this busted cleanup character, but would be very, very weak in normal fights. Cheers, mates. I'm glad to help. That's awesome. Congratulations on the frame upgrade. That's always so trippy seeing myself. Yeah. Hey, all right, thank you. Similar to Arissa's bubbles. I don't like this change as much, but some interesting changes. Yeah, I got you, mate. I got you. Good luck with the disc. Yeah. Trying to go a little bit faster here since we've grinded so slowly. If there's not like an immediate idea that stands out to me, then I'm going to zoom past. Oh, did I miss it? Is this you? Oh, no. Gotcha. Okay. Woo! Chat! It's freaking Doc Octopus! Let's go! Yeah, I hear you. Good luck with the console stuff, mate. Resource consumption increased. So burst healing, you're not burst, but you run out really fast. Decrease, lingering heal is adjusted. So you give lifesteal to people. I feel like this is probably going to be not such a good idea because it's just hard to balance, and also it would be freaking hilarious to watch low rank Moiras kill themselves over and over and over and over again. It would be super funny. It would be super funny. I could just imagine the confusion. What the heck, man? I keep dying. What's going on, dude? Self-healing increased. Ah! Reduce the diameter. Maximum range decreased. Trust? Okay. Visual effects. Discorporate. Oh boy. I don't know. Not sure how I feel about the another boop thing. It's a cool idea though. She can fade an ally, but she can't fade herself. Yes, that's how you spell eviscerate. Yeah, I mean these are cool. These are cool. I like the tentacle things. Where my educational science knowledge comes from. What do you mean? Yeah, it does go super hard. I do kind of like the idea of like resource consumption going faster and being like a heavier part of her gameplay. Like, I think there's like ways of gimmick around it though. That's the thing I keep running into. Like if she regenerates, I just don't know how you would balance the resource meter around damage because it's so easy to just farm damage off of a tank, you know? I don't know. I don't freaking know, man. To respectfully put it, I don't freaking know. I mean, these are some interesting ideas. At least you were cooking. I prefer people to actually cook. Maximum made it so she can spam right click anymore. I think you could fix it where I actually could test it. Yeah, I mean, you could do it where like right click only generates a certain amount of healing resource per target. You know what I'm saying? As many resources as McDonald's? What does that even mean? Maybe percentage recovery is based off of percentage of target's health as damage done. Yeah, that one would be hard to calculate though, because if you're right-clicking somebody that's actually being healed, then it's difficult. All of them? Yeah. Like if I was right-clicking a tank that's being healed, I don't even get any resource. All my psychology, educational science. I mean, I have a bachelor's. I studied very hard in school. My grandfather is a science teacher. My dad is a high school history, economics, math teacher. I taught sports and mathematics growing up. I coached mixed martial arts for a long time. What? What? No. That's more of learning what not to do.
More like something to strive for.
Yeah, no, I got you, Pfizer. Yeah, shut up. Impossibly high standards, just like when you got married. Wait, never mind, that doesn't make any sense. What's up, Phi? No. Moria. The mines of Moria. Damage orb does no damage, but increased damage can affect anybody. Ooh, damage amplification. Probably not a good idea. But I respect it. I respect it that you're also trying to balance it, you know. It's quick and nerdy, but it would work. Yeah. Who's Giaman and who's Rift? Is that a different game? Chat, we're almost done. Kind of. Biotic orb damage and healing significantly reduced, both DPS and HPS, the max damage. Or can be manually detonated to apply a buff. I mean, it's interesting. I like the idea of the sticky orb better, though. FAMAS, there's your Call of Duty throwback. What was the 3-shot burst? Was that Modern Warfare 2? Freaking love the FAMAS. I don't think it was that good, but you could get like stopping power, and I think you could like one-shot people with a 3-shot burst or whatever. Time to kill is crazy. This is kind of weird. So you don't actually do damage. You charge up a damage beam that instantly applies at the end. I mean, obviously you'd have to put a cap on it. No, yeah, FAMAS was in Black Ops 1 too, but I don't think it was a 3-shot burst. Okay, cool. Very weird to play against, yeah. Interesting idea, though. Like I said, I like when people cook. Mari's hyper. Yeah, girl. What are you doing? What are you doing? Cat is getting hyper. Does anyone else cat get super hyper? Zooms around. Yes. What are you doing? What? Impact damage with orb with bounce, maybe. Yeah. Oh gosh, Gregor's changes. I want to know. What? Mari, come here. No. No. I don't like this that much. It doesn't feel, it feels too passive, aggressive. Yeah. I don't know that I love the whole concept of making people's cooldowns last longer. Or like affecting people's cooldowns thing. That feels like gross. It feels like Sombra hack level of like, leave me alone. Even if you quote unquote balanced it better, then it would be like maybe worthless. Oh my gosh. Press interact to consume 30% ult to break CC. I don't think so. It's an idea. I just don't like it very much. Eliminations reset cooldowns. No. On death? No. I'm not as much of a fan of these. Where's the Moira stuff? Could it be that your feelings were the prior teacher of all that coaches? Be that your feelings were your previous prior teacher of all that? I mean, I don't know if I have like the most knowledge. Like I said, I have a bachelor's degree, and I would say I've learned, but see, the degree didn't. I learned more like doing actually like real stuff. I read a lot of books. I spend a lot of time trying to like expand my knowledge set when it comes to like teaching and psychology. I read a lot of books on psychology and learning and education and improving and competition and leadership and stuff like that. Like weekly, you know, like I've done through, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 books on that topic just in the last couple of years. And I have a lot of real life experience doing it in the game with competitive coaching. And I try to apply myself to not just the game. And I think more than anything else, I've just been very fortunate to have people that inspire me to behave in that manner. I mean, I grew up with my grandfather and my dad, really both of my grandparents, both grandfathers, and they really inspired me with how they treat and coach and teach people. They were very empathetic and intense people that were passionate, but also cared a lot about people. And I hate to say this, but my wife does inspire me to do the same thing because she cares a lot about people too. And I think like my experience with coaching mixed martial arts with her and like the amount of like we work with hundreds, if not thousands of kids, and working in that definitely was really, really inspirational and motivational for that too. I think for me, it was like less about like the things that I studied and more about just like how my life experiences growing up, even as a kid. I appreciate it. I mean, I definitely put priority on like making an actual impact besides just teaching people how to play the video game better. That's always have been my secondary focus, even in my competitive coaching. Which is why I always had like conflicts of interest because to me, winning wasn't everything. And I think that was, you know, I don't know. I think we already did this one, didn't we? Yeah, we did. But cheers, man. I appreciate the kind words. That's super interesting. I'd be down to know I'm always down to learn more. If you ever come up with something interesting, that I'm always interested to hear what you got to say. Yeah, it's a fair point with the support passive stacking with Moira self-heal is unnecessary. This would feel awful. This would feel awful. A tether thing with orb would feel awful. It's super creative. But I think that would feel awful. I do like the point about the support passive. Support passive. Stacked. Cheers, mate. I really appreciate the kind words. Like I said, if you ever do come across anything that you think it might be in your studies, I'm always down to hear it. Throw it in my DMs. One of the guys that is in my Patreons that I actually coached a while back is a therapist, and he's always sending me new ideas and things that he's been studying up on, or things that he's run into in the clinic. Because I think it's I try to improve. I've got a lot to learn still. HBS reduced. I do think the idea of reducing heal spray amount, lean more into HOT, could be interesting. Next season, no. I think next season is what we've heard. I'm expecting something pretty significant. I imagine that the Roadhog rework will be a little bit more significant than Sombra. That's my personal prediction. I think Sombra's going to be some tweaks to her abilities, but I don't think will be overall like too heavy. That would be my prediction. I think Roadhog's going to be a little bit more significant, would be my guess. What? I know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Well, we talked a lot about Trico stuff already. Sorry. No, I'm still finishing this thing. No, you're good. You're good. Ugh, not an ink splatter. I don't like anything that obfuscates visibility. Yeah, Visa goes, you know, like it makes like the zooming noise, you know? You know? Oh, we didn't look at the back one. Hey, Rex. Yo, if Rex is still here, the reason you can't talk in here, bro, is because there's an hour-long slow mode. My guy was cooking. More damage reduction. I mean, this is interesting, but I don't really think it affects her playstyle too much. It just allows her to do more damage to tanks, which is not like that meaningful. Okay, Ahi, I'll get to there. Honestly, Ahi, you could probably post in here. It's been like an hour, maybe. I mean, it might have. Yeah, there you go. See? Yo, I can already tell it's going to ask me to sign in. Yeah, see? You can change that. That's fine. No rush. You got a few minutes. Yeah, you can fix that. Just click the click the share and then tweak around with there. Done, you think? Typed it while I made a pepperoni and pineapple pizza. That was your first mistake. True, sir. I used to like pepperoni, pineapple pizza when I was a kid. Holy... Okay, this is not that long. Huh. All right, here you go. Here you go. Didn't ask. Didn't ask, bro. No, I'm just messing. All right. Throwable syringes. Bro, what? What is this? What? Is it San Francisco Simulator? What? Let you cook? All right. All right. All right, maybe. You say something like a Zen or a Brig heal, but it's not a very... those are not very skill-oriented heals. But... a melee range character? Yeah. Attach. Clinch onto a wall. Every time I hear the word clinch, I just think butt cheeks. Clinch. Yeah, well, you don't. I might. The reason why I have such a toned backside. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You're definitely cooking something, bro. You're definitely cooking something, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. No, you're good. Moira sticking to a ceiling is freaking... Can you imagine Moira sticking to a ceiling, but her butt cheeks are just clamping onto the chandelier? That's how she holds onto the ceiling. It's just... the suction butt. You know, wait, what is there? Some meme? There's some... I don't know. Coalescence to bioessence. An awesome ultimate. Thank you for clarifying. Moira spins and throws out all of her ammo reserves. She damages and heals in an 8-meter radius. Yeah, you listen, bro. This isn't even a cook. My man, you set fire to the kitchen. You started to cook, and then the pizza set on fire, and then you turned it up hotter. I mean, dude, okay, listen. Here's the thing. No. Here's the thing. I am always down for stuff like this. This is things like these. I don't know why I said this. Things like this are why I wish we had the experimental mode. I would love for freaking bizarre crap like this to go out, just because one of these things could actually be like super actually fun. But we just, you know. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of a coward when it comes to some of these reworks, where I'm generally avoiding the super crazy stuff because you just have to wait and see it and see how it played. But I'm not saying that these are like stupid ideas or they wouldn't be really fun to test with, and then they might actually be good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for example, like, what happens if you put like chocolate with sushi? Exactly. But somebody made a combination of foods that people said, ooh, and they were like, yo, this is actually good. That's kind of what you're cooking right now. You know what I'm saying? It tastes bad. Why are you guys saying it tastes bad? Have you guys actually tried it? Please tell me that you actually haven't tried it. No shot you guys actually know what it tastes like. No, you haven't tried it. Why have you tried it? What is wrong with you? Sniper melee projectile type of thing? Imagine a spider-like support sniping your heels from the ceiling in Hanamura. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you. I'm just not listening. Like, okay. I guess for the most part, I think we're mostly done here. I'm gonna need to cook on my own for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need to cook on my own for a little while before I come up with any good ideas. What? Yeah, I do think the Baptiste and Lifeweaver thing, sadly, are gonna have to wait because we've been live for a long time. So 4 hours. So we're gonna have to pause on the Baptiste and Lifeweaver. I always knew this was gonna take longer than I thought it would, but at least we got through it. We'll have to smash our brain. I'm going to smash my brains at it for a little while, see if I can come up with any ideas. We're going to have to do the Baptiste and Lifeweaver thing. I don't know when the frick we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do that next Thursday. That one will be a lot easier in theory. Yeah, so I'll leave the channel open if you guys have any Baptiste or Lifeweaver things. Keep in mind, we're not looking for like total rework so much as like quality of life stuff, but yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I do look shiny. I think it's the white screen. Like whenever it gets late at night, the screen is like, and I'm like, you guys missed it last week. I literally had like, I had sunglasses on. Like, look at this. Look at this sheen. Try tea bags with Sprite. You'll like it, I promise. You guys are actually cracked. All right, by the way, no stream this Saturday. I'm going to be out of town, but I'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. No, actually, we're not actually going out of town. It's a trap. We have a football tournament close by, so it's gonna be. I'm gonna be playing during normal stream times. Yeah. So no stream. Sadly, I'll be busy. Yeah. All right, guys. See you guys on Tuesday. We'll have probably an Overwatch League match analysis on Tuesday, and then we'll be back again for the third time for support reworks on Thursday. Baptiste and Lifeweaver, short little tweaks. Appreciate y'all. See you guys later. Bye bye.